To the season number 3 NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series Daytona 500. So we are here once again. This is the season 4 Daytona 500. It's the Great American Race. And we are ready to go from Daytona. It is officially time after all of Speed Week's action. This is the Great American Race. This is the Daytona 500 as we welcome you in live for the pre-race show. Here in season number 4, time to kickstart the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series, season number 4 season. All right. Okay, so of course it is the pre-race show. We welcome you in live here from the Daytona International Speedway. We're going to get pre-race interviews underway in just a couple of moments, so stay tuned for those as we'll interview your drivers. So of course, this is the season number 3 NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup, season number 4 NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series Daytona 500. And we welcome you in live. This is the biggest race of the season. This is our crown jewel event, and we are ready to go for the 500. All right, welcome in live to Daytona. This is the Great American Race, as we'll have interviews coming up. So, of course, we'll have a half-hour pre-race show, as you can see right now, for a half hour. And then the session will open at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll have the half-hour warm-up session as always. Then we'll have a 2-lap qualifying, and we will go green for the season number 4 Daytona 500, 100-lap race at 9:40 p.m. Eastern Time. So stay tuned for all that coming up. And this is the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series. As we'll have interviews coming up. We're going to be starting off with your season number 2 Xfinity Series champion and former NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series full-time driver Aiden Donahghue. And here in the number 82 for Showtime Motorsports. Of course, he's a brand new team owner in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series as well. And we'll get this interview underway. And he, of course, retired at the end of season number 3 for the Cup Series full-time, but is going to be making some select part-time series starts this season and will be in the booth for a couple of races as well. So let's get this interview underway with Aiden Donahghue. Aiden Donahghue, this is one of your part-time series starts here this season, here in season number 4. So of course, you're going to be returning to the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series after retiring a season ago. So in this race a season ago, when you were full-time in the 24 car for Highline Motorsports, you of course got involved in the big one and ended up finishing it last. So what do you guys think you can do to change the momentum there and try to get a good finish or possibly a win in the Great American Race?
Well, not do that. Now, the plan tonight is pretty simple. It's complicated but simple. Stay with your buddies all night long. We want to survive, right? So we got to make the laps at least. So the beginning of the race, I think we're just going to kind of hang back a little bit, kind of be reserved, be collected for as much as we can at least, and then kind of the first half of the second stage as well, just kind of, not as reserved, but a little more aggressive. And then once that halfway point on the last stage hits, I mean, you're either going to wreck or you're going to win the race at that point. So be aggressive, try and get Showtime Motorsports a win. If it's not me, I hope it's Ashton or Connor. But other than that, we're just going to try and take care of each other and try and be there at the end as always. And I was more stressed out about this race last season because I had points on the line, and it was a season-long battle, as we know, with Matthew White and stuff, and I knew that. So now I don't have points, so I don't care. I'm going to go for it, and if I wreck, oh, well.
All right, so of course you're a brand new team owner in the Cup Series with Ashton Miller, Gary Smith, and Connor Asbell. So how do you think you're going to be able to work with your drivers here tonight to try to get to the front?
fairly well. I tuned in on the class, and they all seem to work really well together. I've been giving them pointers for a while. Been helping them out. Part of the reason why I started this team was just to get them with me on a full-time basis, so I could give them pointers and all that. But other than that, Connor is an amazing super speedway racer, as you well know. Ashton is very good too. I'm not, but I like to think that I can run up front at least. So I think we're going to work really well together. And of course, we have that affiliation with the TCMC guys and Highline. It's not like we're enemies right now, but we just want to take care of it, take care of each other. So we've got help tonight. That's good. It's always good around these tracks. But just for Ashton and Connor themselves, we did a lot of work on the off season and stuff like that. Ashton did some officials with me. I've been in tune with Connor all race. He's my spotter for another league, so we're really well connected, and I think that's going to show and pay off tonight in the race. And I'm excited. I'm honestly excited. It's a super speedway race. I hate these things, but I'm excited for it.
All right, good luck here tonight at Daytona for the Daytona 500, and we will see you in this race coming up later tonight.
Absolutely, my man. As I tell everybody else on my streams, it's showtime.
Yes, it is. All right, so as we will have more pre-race interviews coming up here from the World Center of Racing. This is, of course, the season number 4 Daytona 500. It is the biggest race of the season, and it's going to be here tonight. So before we get into the next interview, let's take a talk about how Speed Weeks has gone so far. So, of course, Speed Weeks started off with the preseason Thunder sessions for both Cup and Xfinity. Of course, not really much to mention there. They were just testing or whatever. You saw a bunch of cool test cars, everybody in their new rides, and then we was heading to the Clash the next week at the Monza Oval, and that was an unbelievable race. Matthew White ended up with the victory over Connor Asbell in a photo finish, and that was one of the most insane races we have ever seen. And then we were able to go to, of course, we had a week off after that, and then Daytona Speed Weeks went underway. So Monday had both Cup and Xfinity first practice. Then Tuesday was consisting of practice for the Cup Series. Wednesday night had, of course, more Cup practice, and then the IndyCar, Tuesday was the Xfinity Series practice. Wednesday night had more Cup practice, and then the IndyCar Series race. That was at the Daytona Road Course, and it ended up being won by Bryce Benton. That was a very entertaining race, very entertaining battle with him and Richard Cherry, and yeah, so that was a good race. Then we went to Thursday night, 2 nights ago. That was, of course, more Xfinity Series practice for the final practice for the Xfinity Series. Then we had the ARCA Series race in the combination race with iCar, and that we had an insane finish, nearly a photo finish with Cameron Chandler getting the victory. Then last night was the busiest night in Speed Weeks. We had Cup final practice for the Daytona 500. We also had the Truck Series race, and of course the Xfinity Series race. Xfinity had a full field of cars. We had 60 in queues as well, and it's just been a fantastic Speed Week so far, and it's time to finish it off in one of the most crown jewel ways possible. This is the Daytona 500. And let's get more interviews underway. Coming up next, Cole Clawson in 71. Cole Clawson, you have, of course, our season number 2 Cup Series championship here for an interview. So, of course, you've been very solid throughout Speed Weeks. You nearly won the truck race. So, what do you think your chances are here in the Daytona 500?
Yeah, I really don't know what to think. I mean, we're just gonna keep on doing what we've been doing in these super speedway races and try and stay out of the chaos and see if we find ourselves up front in the final, 10 to 20 laps of this race. Maybe get some stage points, but we're gonna have a lot of opportunities to do that all season. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a long season. I mean, we're racing until the end of October, so if tonight doesn't go well, we got more than 20 other races to get it done. So, but yeah, pretty excited. We've had a pretty good speed weeks up to this point. The Xfinity race last night didn't go too well, but that got by that chaotic wreck at the end of the truck race and got second. So I was pretty happy about that. IndyCar race went all right. ARCA race went all right, working with my teammate there. But I think what's going to put me in tonight is not having any teammates because I'm just not going to talk about it. But yeah, hopefully we have a strong 71 Culver's Ford Mustang tonight and work our way up towards the front, and hopefully we can put our name on that Harley J. Earl trophy.
So how do you think it is going to be without teammates? That's the first time in your career for a super speedway race, I believe, that you will not have any teammates to work with. Is it just going to be like working with everybody? Are you going to choose manufacturers, maybe some different teams or drivers to try to work with, or just take me through what your process is with that here tonight?
Well, I'm not going to be working with anyone. Like I'm willing to work with other manufacturers for sure, but I know the people that are aggressive, and I know the people that are not gonna get me to the front. So I'll definitely be avoiding those people. But I have been reaching out to some people to, see if I can work with them during this race, and just find some friends wherever they are, and there are a lot of respectful people in this league that I can work with for sure. And I think I'm well respected, but I really don't know. A lot of the times on these super speedways, I get hung out to dry. So hopefully we can make some friends tonight, because that really is like the equalizer on these super speedways here, is to just have people to work with, and that's a big factor on if you can win or not, and just avoiding the big one. So hopefully we can find some friends and make it work tonight.
All right. Well, good luck in trying to chase down your first ever Daytona 500 series, Daytona 500 title, and we will see you on the track shortly.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. We'll be back for more pre-race interviews in Daytona. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just about 15 seconds. Welcome you back live here in Daytona for the pre-race show for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series. And this is, of course, the season number 4, Daytona 500. We've had 3 Daytona 500s in the past, and, of course, they were all won by Chevrolet. First one was Levi Leip, second was Daniel Mosteller, and, of course, last season's Daytona 500 champion, Matthew White, looks to go back-to-back. And let's start off with the next interview. Next up is going to be Pace and Lindsay, driving the number 99 Team Chevy Motor Club Chevrolet. Pace and Lindsay, you are going to be starting your second full-time Cup Series season this season. So, of course, last time we were at Daytona in the Cup Series, you went to Victory Lane in the regular season finale for season number 3. So, of course, you have great speed at these super speedways all the time. You usually have good finishes, have some wins as well. So, what do you think your game plan is going to be tonight, working with your Team Chevy Motor Club teammates, as there are 3 of them, as you guys have always been strong in these super speedways, to try to get to the front and stay there and possibly win this race?
Yeah, I think our goal for this race is just to try and stay up front. I think if you get back in the field a little bit, trying to make your way up to the field late in the race, you're probably going to get involved in a wreck. That's what nearly happened to me when I won the Coke Zero 400 last year, as I nearly got in that wreck and got a little bit of left front damage. But I think if we can just stay up front and lead a few laps like we did last year in the Daytona 500, we can guarantee a top 10 finish.
All right, so, of course, how is the stage point situation going to go with you guys? Are you guys, you don't have to tell me, obviously, but are you guys going to go for stage points here tonight, or are you going to maybe lay back a bit?
I think our goal is to get at least 5 stage points overall. So I mean, we're gonna try and see if we can get some stage points. But if it gets too aggressive, like if we start going 3, 4 wide and nearly wrecking, I'll probably drop out. But if it's somewhat calm, 2 wide, we'll probably stay up in the front and try and get some stage points.
All right, well, good luck in the season number 4 Daytona 500, your second Daytona 500 start here tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that was, of course, the driver, number 99, Pace and Lindsay. So, as more pre-race interviews will continue here from the Daytona International Speedway. This is the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series Live. And of course, I am Ethan Trendler. In the booth here tonight, you're a broadcaster. I'll probably be mostly by myself for lead broadcasting, just because I like to do that for the 500 at least. And you're going to hear my voice. I'll have a couple of in-race reporters as well throughout the night. But let's start off with the next interview. That is going to be the number 62 of Joseph Tucker. So Joseph Tucker, you'll be making your second overall NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series start here tonight. It's going to be your first Daytona 500.
Great.
So of course it's your first full-time season here tonight. So it starts in Daytona. So how do you think it's going to be like working with your teammates throughout this one here tonight?
I don't know. I just know how Dylan Banks drives. That's all. I know how no one else drives other than Charlotte Roval Wreckfest. I mean, road course. Either way, I think we have a good shot with me and Dylan. I don't know the rest. All I know is TJ Hanley may be coming. He drives decent. And that's all I know, team driver wise. But with this being my first start for a full-time season, I might enjoy it. I don't know. Probably gonna wreck out like I did in the Asphalt 500, leading the race. But I think we'll do great.
All right, so do you think the game plan for tonight is going to be to try to score stage points, or are you guys going to maybe drop to the back early on to go for the win?
I think we might go for stage points. I don't know. Dylan usually stays in the back half of the time, just to be there for the end, and I think that's what he'll do. But I'll definitely be up there for stage points. I need stage points, and then I'll probably fight for the win late. So just keep the car clean at this point. It's Daytona, and anything can happen.
All right, well, good luck in your first ever Daytona 500 start here in the Cup Series.
Thank you.
We'll be right back in about 30 seconds. More pre-race interviews coming up in Daytona. The session will open in about 10 minutes as well. All right, so coming up next is going to be driver the number 9, Bryce Benton. Bryce Benton, you're in your second officially full-time Cup Series season. It's your first Daytona 500, though, so you have been really good throughout Speed Weeks. Of course, you won the IndyCar Series race. Do you guys think you're going to be able to take home the biggest crown jewel in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League, the Daytona 500?
I mean, it's possible. I don't know. It just needs some luck on our side. We obviously had that luck in the IndyCar race, but we didn't really have that luck in the ARCA race or the truck race. In the ARCA race, I got left out to dry, and then in the truck race, I got caught up in some wrecks, and then I ended up DNFing on the last lap because I went too deep into a wreck. But I think it could be possible. And something I like to think back to, or I guess don't really like to think back to, is the Heat 5, my first Daytona 500 in Heat 5, where I disconnected on lap 5. So hopefully make it past there at least. But yeah, nerves are kind of at all-time high just going into this race, anticipating what can happen.
Anyway, sorry about that. So, of course, you're overall our most experienced NASCAR iRacing FedEx, or longest tenure NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series driver, technically, like you mentioned, the Heat 5 days. But anyways, what do you think it's going to be like tonight, trying to work with your teammates to try to get to the front late in the race?
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be tough. I think I'm really gonna need help from teammates. I don't really want to be on your own, but it's gonna be tough still. Obviously, at the end of the race, teammates are gonna start to just go on their own and try to win the race themselves. It's kind of just anybody's race at that point, like the last like 5 laps, but. Yeah, we're just gonna have to hope we're in that position. I feel like we just need to survive until that point and try to work our way through the field and last like maybe 20 laps or something. It just depends where we are. So yeah.
All right, well, good luck, Bryce, here in your first ever NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series Daytona 500 start.
Yep.
Coming up next is going to be Wyatt Young in 37. So, of course, we saw him in the Xfinity Series race last night. He was full-time in Cup a season ago. Now he is full-time in the Xfinity Series. So Wyatt Youngblood, I hate to mention it again, but man, oh so close in the Xfinity Series race last night. What do you think you're going to be able to do here tonight for the Cup Series and one of your part-time series starts? Just signed a deal with Pace and Lindsay's team to try and get to the front and possibly have a chance at the victory.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stick to my plan that I had yesterday. I'm not gonna hang back because usually when I hang back, I still somehow get caught up in the wreck. So I'm just gonna head towards the front, stay at the front, try to lead most of the race, and uh, just go for the win.
So how does the mindset of not having the race for points at all and just being able to not have to worry about that change here in Daytona? So of course you of course raced the Daytona 500 and the regular season finale where you were worrying about points, especially in the regular season finale last season in the Cup Series. So how does that change?
Yeah, it's a little it's relieving to know that I'm not competing for points after getting eliminated from the playoffs last time at Daytona, but um it just knowing that I'm not running for points is a lot better because I can just go for the win. And obviously, I have to be careful because other people are running for points. But yeah, I'm just gonna go for the win.
All right, well, good luck tonight in your second Daytona 500 start, and we will see you on track in just a few moments.
Thank you.
Coming up next, final interview most likely before we get underway with 5 minutes to go until the session opens is going to be Eli Tomlin. Eli Tomlin, you're starting your second Daytona 500 here tonight. So, of course, this time around, you guys have a lot more cars to work with the Clear High cars and the Giesbrecht cars as well. So, how is that going to change it, having so many teammates to be able to work with here tonight? I think you guys have like 5 or 6 of them, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to completely change the game. I'm super looking forward to getting to work with guys I haven't gotten to work with much before. I mean, Connor's going to be a great addition, obviously. I think he's the only one I haven't worked with at all before. But I would be on the lookout for the Clear High and the GRM guys to maybe try a little bit of a different strategy. I'm not going to give anything away yet, but we might make a little bit of a move late in the going.
All right, so of course, so how is it going to be trying to race for the stage points here tonight at Daytona? Will you guys go for that early on, or will you guys maybe lay back and just try to set your mindset on the actual race? Guys, I don't know if you heard my question. I think we're having an issue with the mics. All right. Apologies, I was muted. Um, so, anyways, like I was saying, what do you think your mindset is going to be going into this race here tonight at Daytona? Of course, the Daytona 500. So, there's going to be stage points up for grabs at the end of lap number 50. And do you guys think you're going to be going for them, or do you guys think you're going to be laying back early on then and just go for the race at the end?
So, I mean, I know if you paid any attention to us last year, we were usually all about trying to survive to the end, but a lot of times that didn't work out for us. So, I don't know. It's all about positioning. Last night I qualified P3 and decided to drop out, and it didn't end up going well. If I qualify P3 again tonight, I think I might try sticking up at the front a little bit longer. But it's all about, the flow of the race, how sketchy guys are being in stage 1, and where our positioning is on the track. If it's up towards the front, I might try to grab stage points. If not, like I said, I'm kind of excited about the strategy possibilities in the second half, so I want to be alive to see it.
All right, well, good luck in your second Daytona 500 start.
All right, man. Appreciate you, Ethan.
All right, one more interview to go here tonight. It's going to be Cole Wilson in the 12. So, Cole Wilson, you're back for another part-time series start here in the Daytona 500. So, of course, you're not racing for points, so how will that change your mindset heading into this one here tonight?
Yeah, obviously, not looking for any stage points, but just hoping to pick up the trophy at the end. So that changes it a little bit, like how I'll be racing towards the end of the stage, and like how aggressive I'll be throughout the race. So, that changes a little bit. Just gonna look to have a nice, clean race, and hopefully be up front when it matters at the end.
So you and your Team Chevy Motor Club teammates have been really, and of course all the affiliated teams there, have been really working well together all throughout Speed Weeks. How do you think that chemistry is going to carry over, of course, into the big one, the Cup race? It's the Daytona 500.
Yeah, so far, like you said, it's been going well, of course, until the last lap of trucks. But it's been going well. We have a little plan going already. We have our voice chat set up, and we're just gonna have to be there when it matters again.
All right, well, good luck here upcoming in the season number 4 Daytona 500.
Yep, appreciate it.
All right, it is just about that time. The NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series season number 4 Daytona 500 is just around the corner. Pre-race is over. It is time to go. This is the Daytona 500 for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series in Season 4. We will be on track in just a few moments. Stay tuned. From the Daytona International Speedway, this is the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series. The Daytona 500 is next. All right, we'll be live from Daytona, just getting the session up once again. So, of course, this is the season number 4, Daytona 500, and it has been a great Speed Weeks like we mentioned so far. This is the big one. It is the main event of Speed Weeks and the main event of the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series season, if you think about it. Our crown jewel race. This is the Daytona 500. Session is officially open. Once again, stay tuned from Daytona. We will have cars on track for the warm-up session when we return. All right, cars are on track for the season number 4 Daytona 500 warm-up session. Here we go. So drivers pulling onto the track will be up here live in just a quick second. All right, here we go. We are live. This is the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series Daytona 500. Welcome to Daytona Beach, Florida. Cars are on the racetrack for the warm-up session. We are officially here. It is time for the Daytona 500. The moment you guys have all been waiting for. So, of course, a 25-minute warm-up session to start us off as they head down the back straightaway. Here is Davin Roberts and Ashton Miller getting up to speed. As they head down the front straightaway. So, of course, it's a half-hour warm-up session here tonight. For the Great American Race. So we already had, what is it, about 3.5 hours of testing already for this Daytona 500. We had, 4 hours of testing. This will be 4.5 for the Daytona 500 this season. So of course we had preseason thunder, 3 practice sessions, and now this warm-up session. It all is leading up to the Great American Race. The cars are on the racetrack. So in this warm-up session, it's just kind of to get warmed up. You're going to try to work with some guys that are in the field here tonight. Here's Miller and Roberts down the front straightaway. So But Rodriguez top of the board so far. Miller pulls in there. He'll be second. Daniel Roberts goes through the top. Oh, Ashton Miller going to take a bit of a roll. So will Roberts hard on the wall in that 15. Here is Seven Hathorn down the back straightaway onto the racetrack now. Seven Hathorn had a great Daytona 500 a season ago. Ended up getting caught in it up in a late race crash, unfortunately. As he gets down into turns 3 and 4. Here's William Reagan in the 36 machine. Oh, and he's nearly going to get hit by that 29 of Richard Cherry, who won the Xfinity Series race last night, the Xfinity season opener. As they head back down in the 1 and 2. Currently, Jacob Malone ahead of John Butler in that 09. Then he got the 88 of Landon Johnson, the 71 of Cole Clawson there as well. So 22 minutes to go in the warm-up session. So, of course, after this warm-up session, Daytona 500 qualifying will be underway. So they head back into 1 and 2. Here is Eli Tomlin ahead of his teammate Andrew Stacy. As they head back in here. So we heard how in the pre-race interview with Eli Tomlin how he was going to work together with his teammates. You can already see that on the back straightaway here with Andrew Stacy. We're currently, of course, in the warm-up session. Seven Hathorn makes his way through 3 and 4. Coming down pit road is Hughes. There's the 9 of Bryce Benton, the 82. There he is, Aiden Donahghue. Of course, most notably your season number 2 NASCAR iRacing FedEx Xfinity Series champion, was full-time in the Cup Series a season ago. As we see the 22 of Cole Wilson rolling on. And that white Monster Energy machine. Miller, the back number of that 72 of Connor Asbell. So, of course, Ashton Miller over the offseason joined Showtime Motorsports, a brand new team made by Aiden Donahghue. Well, and his teammate, full-time teammate Connor Asbell here in the 72. Landon Johnson top of the board so far. Oh, in the wall Asbell. And he's going to take a hard shot, and he will slam it again. Big hit for that number 72 of Connor Asbell. All right. Oh, as that is Ashton Miller absolutely slamming into them as he spins to the inside. Holding on to the racetrack here is the 62 of Joseph Tucker in his rookie campaign in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series. He hops over the grass and spins out. So, of course, if we get to that point, all chartered cars are locked in to the Great American Race. Spinning down the inside is the 09 of John Butler. So all chartered cars are locked into this one tonight. The open cars would have to qualify themselves in, as we see Matthew White and Wyatt Youngblood side by side. It's down the back straightaway they head. Pulling outside that 37 of Wyatt Youngblood. And that 7 of Matthew White. as we all get ready for this season number 4 NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series Daytona 500. There is this 37 going around. 62. Tucker spins as well down to the inside, and there's the 82 of Aiden Donahghue involved. Oh, hard on the wall, more cars, and there's William Reagan taking a big shot. 79 of Ashton Miller up to the outside in the wall. And he'll spin back to the inside. There's that 09 of John Butler. So 13 drivers over the line so far here for Daytona 500 warm-up. We have 18 minutes to go in the warm-up session. It'll be interesting to see if we have any qualifying runs go on, like qualifying sims, I mean. Here they are currently pulling off pit road. Oh, one car upside down. I believe that is the 42 of Jacob Malone. Here is Rivera in the 48 heading down the back straightaway. I'm sorry, in the 19 heading down the back straightaway.
Oh my God! I was in the big pack of cars and I didn't see that car upside down, and I just Newman him.
See if Cole Clawson has another one of his season 1 500 wrecks.
Oh yeah, that was pretty crazy there at the end. I actually got a concussion for that one, but that's the only concussion of my entire career. But I'll be in here for most likely the entire race as your in-race reporter here in the Daytona 500.
Yeah, so of course, Cole Clawson, your season number 2 Cup Series champion, will make his 4th attempt at a Daytona 500 victory, as we see 36 of William Reagan spinning down to the inside through the grass. Oh, upside down is Ashton Miller. As here they come pulling off, already see the 77 there is Braden Hunsicker, 62 Joseph Tucker, the 37 of Wyatt Young, the 96 Andrew Stacy. Got a Toyota on the back straightaway. That is the 12. That is TJ Hanley. As he comes down the front straightaway at a kind of a slow pace. So we're about halfway through the warm-up session for the Season 4, I keep saying Season 3, I can't get that out of my head for some reason. The Season 4 Daytona 500. So, of course, format for this race is going to be 100 laps. As always, the halfway break is going to be at the end of lap number 50. Stage points will be awarded to the top 10. So, in season number 3, this race went caution free for the first half. Then we had a yellow flag to bunch the field back up at the halfway break. Then we were in green for a bit, then the big one struck, and then there was a bunch of cautions late in the race, which is very, very similar to what happened in the Xfinity Series race last night.
Sounds like Aiden Donahghue is very hyped up for this Daytona 500. He is putting in the noise in the voice chat right now.
And where is Aiden? Let's take a look. He's doing burnouts, okay.
Yeah, he's jamming some music over there. He is having a great old time. So Aiden Donahghue trying to have some success tonight, and probably going to have a big old party after this one.
Here's the 42 of Jacob Malone. Here is the 00 of Walker, went for a spin, 7 1/2 still kind of running by himself. There's that 9 of Bryce Benton, the 5 of Christian Leonard ahead of him with that 20. And Brad Haverilla heading down the front straightaway in his 50 machine for his second full-time season. Of course, he was full-time with Legacy Sim Club a season ago. Moves over to Clear High Racing in the number 50 machine this season. in that 2-car operation with him and Andrew Stacy full-time. Here is the 5 of Christian Leonard for his first full-time Cup Series season as he rolls down the back straightaway. Into turns 3 and 4. They'll be going for the championship in Season 4. As we see cars still on pit road over here. There's the 09 of Butler. One car smoking. That's the 99 of Pace and Lindsay. The 12 of TJ Hanley. The 77 of Aiden Hunziker. That 15 of Roberts. And more. Oh, Bryce Benton. A hard shot into the wall. As through turns 3 and 4 go Hughes and Leonard. At 20, the back bumper of the 5. As Hughes will come down pit road. Alright, so the car's still currently on pit road here with the 9 of Bryce Benton, the 29 of Richard Cherry, that 37 rolling off. Here is Logan Giesbrett. And down the back straightaway goes him. There is Logan Giesbrett in the 80. As he comes to pit road. 11 minutes to go in the Daytona 500 warm-up session. Here's Carlos Ortiz in one of his part-time series starts coming onto the racetrack. So he had a great Xfinity Series race, which is in this series he's full-time in, of course. Won the stage. Fortunately got caught up in some late race incidents, but still scored a couple of points in Daytona for Xfinity.
The numbers working all right?
I gotta see when it flips over, but every other number is fine for the fonts.
Okay. Can you reload paints?
Yeah.
Alright.
All right. So we'll be back in just a quick second. Still under the warm-up session here in Daytona. All right, welcome back live to Daytona. So as Miller's going to get spun into the wall, he'll have collecting 3 of his team. Oh my God, a terrible hit for that 82, and he gets slammed once again. There's Aiden Donahghue. And yeah, big wreck here.
Oh, wow.
Oh man, Cole Clawson on his lid. And he lands on his roof, down in the grass, of course. Here's Matthew Rivera in the 19. Oh. The 9 of Bryce Benton on the racetrack now. There's a 7 of Matthew White pulling down. Like he has damage. Joseph Tucker and Braden Hunsicker. One veteran, one rookie. Oh man, Tucker absolutely slams Wyatt Youngblood. Of course, it's just a warm-up session. You can really do whatever you want. Get those final moments of fun in before we get serious for the Daytona 500. All right. So, not many cars on the racetrack currently. You see a lot of them right now on pit road and other places. As they roll back on the track. 7 minutes to go as we'll be back live here in just a quick second. Oh, is there wrecking up here on the back straightaway? Oh, Clawson, that's a nasty hit. Nearly on his side. Oh, he went side over side. Didn't go upside down fully, though. As Malone on the outside here of that 72 of Connor Asbell. All right, 6 minutes to go here in Daytona. You see cars currently on pit road. That is the 43 of Tyler Curley. Here is the 8 of Cameron Chandler. Of course, Cameron Chandler has had a pretty decent speed week so far. He won the ARCA race, and of course, making his first Daytona 500 start. And he's going to be full-time in the Cup Series this season. He's not technically a rookie because of the amount of races that he ran prior season. Oh, hard on the wall, CJ Urban. We're getting closer. For this one tonight. This is, of course, like we mentioned earlier, the biggest race of the season. All of the nerves that have been built up over the offseason, over speed weeks, have been all for this. The Daytona 500. Live on the channel. You do not want to go anywhere. We got the crown jewel of the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series coming up this season for Daytona 500. Here is CJ Urban heading through 3 and 4, and then you got the 21 of Carlos Ortiz down to the inside. Oh, spinning into the walls, the 9 of Bryce Benton.
Oh my gosh.
All right, give it a quick second here. So we have just about now 4 minutes to go. So of course, Daytona 500 qualifying is coming up next. All right, so we got a little bit of a pit party looking like coming off here to finish up the warm-up session. So currently we have about 15 or so cars rolling onto the track. So 500 qualifying is definitely going to be a pretty prestigious one tonight. It's going to be one of the most important qualifying sessions of the season. Diego Rodriguez ended up with the pole a season ago for was actually Giesbret Motorsports. Giesbret Racing. Currently 10th on the board as 12. And that number 62 of Justin Tucker making the way 3 and 4. There's Pace and Lindsay in the 99, the 79 of Ashton Miller, the 9 of Bryce Benton, the 71 of Cole Clawson. There's the 88 of Landon Johnson. He is returning full-time to the Cup Series after 2 seasons in Xfinity. First full-time season since season number 1. And the 5, Christian Leonard. So, Cole, it took a season, but we have a new driver of the number 5 in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I wish the best of luck to him. You know, last time I drove the 5, that thing won a championship, so I think he can do the same. So, good luck to Christian Leonard.
As he makes his way through 3-4. So, of course, Christian Leonard, full-time this season for Fortner Racing. They do have a technical alliance with Ethan Trendler Racing because, of course, Christian Leonard is an ETR-affiliated driver. He was full-time in the Xfinity Series for ETR a season ago. All right. More cars pull onto the racetrack. You're actually seeing some pit stop practice trying to get down to pit road speed because last season we had green flag pit stops for the Daytona 500. You want to find your pit box, even though it's probably going to be different during the actual race after qualifying wraps up. So, of course, last season we had green flag pit stops during that first stage due to there being no cautions at all in the first half. Minute to go in the warm-up session. Qualifying is coming up next. We see the 71 of Cole Clawson. A bit of pit pack practice, and he's going to look to find his box.
Looks like I went past my box. No need to worry.
40 seconds to go in Daytona 500 practice. And the warm-up session is coming up, or I'm sorry, the qualifying session is coming up next. Here they come once again. Good thing to have it late in the session as well. Ooh, a bit of tire smoke there. A big entry there for the 5. Christian Leonard may have been speeding, so they're going to have to clean it up in the actual race. Pit practice at the end of the 500 warm-up session. And 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Daytona 500 session. The Daytona 500 warm-up session is officially over. Landon Johnson leads the field with a great start for his number 88 Johnson Motorsports Chevrolet. Here we go. It is time for the Daytona 500 qualifying session. Time to see who's going to be starting on pole for the season number 3. Great American Race. So it is 2 laps for the pole, 1 round. As always in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series at ovals. As they head down here onto the racetrack. So, of course, you're on that first lap, you're probably going to see them get slowly up the speed, get heat in those tires. On that second lap, you're going to see them go full end. And we will decide a pole winner for the Daytona 500 in about 5 minutes' time. Here's the 9 of Bryce Benton, pulling on track. There's the 37 of Wyatt Young up to the outside as well. There's the 81 of Diego Rodriguez, of course, your Daytona 500 pole winner from a season ago. First lap's underway for 500 qualifying. There's Cole Wilson, Eli Tomlin, Richard Cherry down the back straightaway. So, of course, currently we would not have any cars that missed the race. 35 entries currently. The 84 of Gio Turpin makes his way through 3 and 4. In his 4th full-time season. Of course, he won at Daytona in season number 2 at the regular season finale. He also won Atlanta last season. And in season 1, he won the Southern 500. So, we're going to continue that streak of 1 win per season for Gio Turpin. Ashton Miller getting back up the speed, so that, of course, that second lap is going to be full song on. As they head down the back straightaway, there's the 19 of Rivera, making his way through 3 and 4. The 43 of Tyler Curley. And that 2-car now operation at Legacy Sim Club with Gio Turpin as team owner. To the line goes Roberts, so it's Youngblood top of the boards. Rodriguez second, Hanley goes fastest. Just first laps being underway. There's the 50 of Brad Havrilla. That 8 of Cameron Chandler. We didn't see many practice laps for Chandler. The 22 of Cole Wilson heads down the back straightaway. There's the 9 of Bryce Benton. So still so far top of the board, TJ Hanley. There he is in the 12 currently. Down the front straightaway goes Wyatt Youngblood. Across the line, Wyatt Youngblood in the 37. Currently 4th. Let's see where it updates. He'll go to 3rd, and that is his qualifying over. It's Rodriguez in 2nd. I believe that's his qualifying over. Andrew Stacy up to the outside, the 000 of Nolan Walker. Bryce Benton top of the board on provisional pole in Daytona. Havrilla is now 3rd. There is CJ Erdman. How about Nathaniel Roberts to the top? Here's Logan Giesbright. Here comes Cole Clawson. Rivera top 5 currently. Ashton Miller's 9th. That's his qualifying over. Cole Clawson to the line. Currently about 17th, I believe. Across the line he goes. Clawson will end out outside of the top 10. Braden Hunsicker will spin and flip. He's currently P12. Clawson is 19th. Here comes Aiden Donahghue onto the racetrack. Havrilla pulling off. Good qualifying effort for him. He's 8th. Cameron Chandler to the line. Qualifying over. Chandler's 3rd. Still, so far, no one able to knock off Nathaniel Roberts with a minute to go. Cole Wilson is P10. Here comes Andrew Stacy, currently 24th. Another one to watch out for especially is Aiden Donahghue. CJ Erdman up to the outside as well. He's been very, very solid. As Aiden Donahghue is now off the racetrack, CJ Erdman has been very, very solid at Super Speedway qualifying in the past. It's going to be close to see if Erdman can get his final lap in. I don't think he's going to get it. This is his first lap. It's outside the top 10 at least. Walker is done. He's currently outside the top 10. Now Aiden Donahghue is on the racetrack. I guess he had a bit of a blinking moment. He's also coming to 1 to go. I don't think he's going to be able to make it. Anyway, Andrew Stacy slowing down. CJ Erdman has 10 seconds left. Donahue is 26th so far. And that'll do it. Checkered flag in the air. Nathaniel Roberts on pole position. For the Great American Race, he does it. A huge underdog coming into this one, but he will win the pole. And it is time. We are here. This is the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series. Welcome live to the season number 4 Daytona 500. As we will go through your starting grid for this one here tonight. Of course, Nathaniel Roberts going to be starting on pole position. Bryce Benton going to be doing his outside front row start for the 9 machine. Row number 2 will consist of Bryce Benton's teammate Cameron Chandler, and to their outside, Tyler Curley in the 43. Row 3 will consist of TJ Hanley, great starting spot for him. Matthew Rivera in his first ever Daytona 500 start in his Cup debut as well, going to be starting to the outside. Row number 4 will consist of Jacob Malone in the 42 machine for Johnson Motorsports with that ETR Alliance. And then the 7 of Matthew White for Highline Motorsports 2 is outside. Matthew White, your defending Daytona 500 champion. And rounding out the top 10 is Andrew Stacy and Brad Havrilla, both of the full-time cars from Clear High Racing. You got the rest of the field rolling across the left side of your screen. 34 cars for tonight. It is the largest grid in NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series history. And it all comes down to this. All the waiting was for this moment. The season number 4, Daytona 500. Cars will be rolling off in just a couple of moments. Take one final look at the grid. All right, Cole Clawson, you're going to be starting here in 23rd. What do you think it's going to be like here early in the race, deep in the fields?
Usually I say there's always going to be chaos, but I think it's going to be single file for a large portion of this race, and I think that's what it's going to be on the start here. So hopefully everyone can get in the line and just take it easy. I mean, we all want excitement, but we also don't want a wreck fest either. So I expect a lot of drivers early on to take it easy here.
As the field will roll off as final car, 34th Landon Johnson rolls off as well. The field heads through 1 and 2 on 1 to go till the restart, to the start of this race. It is the Great American Race, the Daytona 500 for season number 4. How about Nathaniel Roberts starting on pole? Speed Weeks has been going on for weeks. There has been 4.5 hours of practice time for this race only. The field rolls slowly behind the iRacing pace car down the back straightaway. You are about to see one heck of a show. The NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series will kickstart Season 4 tonight. Nathaniel Roberts and Bryce Benton on the pole will lead the field to the green flag. The front row for the Daytona 500. Pace cars in! And the Season 4 NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series Daytona 500 is underway! For the opening time, they make their way through 3 and 4 and down the front straightaway to salute these fans. Nathaniel Roberts will lead the first lap of the Great American Race. As they head back down into 1 and 2, the outside lane has momentum. Cameron Chandler on the bumper of Roberts. Then you got Bryce Benton at 9 lined up on the outside lane. 43 of Tyler Curley pushing that 12, his Toyota teammate, down to the inside. Through 1 and 2 they go and down the back straightaway. Oh, a bit of a shot there from Chandler and Roberts as they head back down into 3 and 4. Lap 3 complete in the Great American Race. Sorry, we're currently on lap 3 now. They head back down into 1 and 2. Chandler on the bumper of Roberts. Early in this going, you got momentum coming bottom with TJ Hanley and Tyler Curley. Those two Toyotas starting to work well together. You also got the 19 of Matthew Rivera on the inside. You got a second group kind of forming back there on the inside, on the back straightaway. Then you got this main group of machines up front. Already 3 laps into the Daytona 500. Nathaniel Roberts makes an aggressive move to the inside to now take the inside lane away from that 12 of Hanley. They kind of check up, have to step on the brakes, but Nathaniel Roberts gets loose once again. They check up even more. Now momentum coming outside for Cameron Chandler as he will take the lead of the Daytona 500. With Bryce Benton all over his back bumper. Oh, Tyler Curley moves down to the inside. He will try to side draft that 7 of Matthew White to pull him back. 22 of Cole Wilson involved there as well. Already got to be thinking about pitch strategy. If this goes green the first 50 laps before the halfway break like it did a season ago, we will have green flag pit stops. Cole Wilson now leads that inside lane ahead of Tyler Curley in the 43. As they head down the front straightaway on lap 5. Take a look at the outside. Chandler currently leading. We look back here at the second group of cars currently led by Ashton Miller and Aiden Donahghue. Cameron, you got the other car from Showtime Motorsports, that 72 of Connor Asbell involved there as well. And oh, we got a car on the wall in the back straightaway from the looks of it, I believe. It was that 26. I don't really know what's going on down there, but they head back into 3 and 4. The outside has momentum, and it just kind of cleared for the first 10 or so cars. Got 3 whites getting split in the middle, that 0-0 of Walker. And the inside lane is all of a sudden losing a whole lot of momentum. The 96 of Andrew Stacy trying to find a place in line as well. Joseph Tucker on the inside, currently running in 17th. And there's that first group of cars from the top 8. And have kind of pulled a bit of a gap. It must have been a checkup or something as they're starting to drop in line. They didn't do this much a season ago. But we're starting to see that early here in Daytona as Joseph Tucker gets ahead of the 5 of Christian Leonard, who will get to his bumper. Now back to the inside, you see Matthew Rivera and Carlos Ortiz going for it, as well as that number 12 of TJ Hanley. Lap 7 of the Daytona 500 is underway. Ortiz on the bumper of Hanley. He gets there and almost gets him a bit of a shove. Now you got Tyler Curley pulling on the line to the inside of his former teammate Brad Havrilla in the 50. Curley gonna find a place back in line. Oh, now looking inside is Rivera. So we've seen kind of that inside lane start to form up as they will have to be careful not to lose the draft of those machines. Rivera on the inside here of Tyler Curley. Then you got Nathaniel Roberts in the back bumper of Rivera, pushing him down this front straightaway. So this group of cars currently Chandler, Benton, White, Malone, Havrilla, and Wilson. They're side by side behind him. That top 6 has momentum. It's beginning to honestly pull even a bigger gap as they head back down into turns number 1 and 2. Eli Tomlin with a momentum in that 90 coming on the outside. You can see that second group of cars that have now separated themselves from the main pack. We saw this. Oh! Tomlin nearly in the wall, and he's getting hooked by Hunsicker. Around goes Eli Tomlin. Caution going to come out. And oh, he gets hit once again by Ashton Miller. Caution is out for the first time in Daytona on lap 8. And that was just a very over-aggressive move by Eli Tomlin in front of that 77 of Braden Hunsicker. Almost had it saved that first time. Let's take a look at what happened. Yeah, all over the place. Then just clears himself, gets himself in the wall, and then comes back down on the 77. Not really sure what was going on there. He puts the 77 in the wall, puts Cherry in the wall as well. Tomlin spinning back to the inside, and Ashton Miller gets him in a very, very bad spot. And not what you wanted to see early on in Daytona. That was not good whatsoever. It's right along with Eli Tomlin. I'm not really sure what was going through his mind when he tried to block low twice when he was not clear. He checks up a bit, got that push from Cherry. And yeah, just checks up once again, goes down, hits the wall, and then finally gets spun out. And just collects Rodriguez as well, collects that 29 at Cherry, and brings out the first caution of the night as he gets slammed by Ashton Miller. So we're gonna have cars on pit road here in just a couple of moments.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, there are a good amount of people that are not happy right now with Eli Tomlin.
I mean, I would imagine. They were up there racing nice. It was calm early on. It looked like what we were usually going to do, have maybe the first half go pretty much all green, but no. Tomlin makes a really, really over-aggressive block, and 90, we were only on lap 9. I mean, this Daytona 500. That is just not the time to be doing that. As cars will come to pit road, we'll have to see what the fuel situation is after they all cycle back around. So we'll have, I believe, what? Okay. Jaden Henry's being removed. That is pathetic. If somebody can remove him. I mean, that is.
I don't have admin.
Yeah, that is absolutely pathetic. All right. So, anyways, we got a couple of cars still currently on pit road. There's Landon Johnson in the 88. And we're on lap 10 of the Daytona 500 as Matthew White, your defending Daytona 500 champion, will roll off pit road first. Second, it will be that 8 of Cameron Chandler. And we're going to have to look at the damage for Ashton Miller. You can see Aiden Donahghue. I think he got a bit of a piece of it. He's got slight damage. Same thing with Richard Cherry. And the 77 and the 90 of Tomlin. Miller is off pit road, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. Actually, don't think he is, actually. Not really sure where he is. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I was working with Eli Tomlin a lot in some of the practice sessions, and he was definitely one of the more aggressive ones. I mean, no offense, but it's, oh my gosh. And there was a car on the backstretch, I think it was Logan Gisbert. He was just lagging, and then he came back, and John Butler almost slammed into the back of him. He had to take an evasive maneuver and go in the grass. I don't think he has any damage, but that was very close. And yeah, we are currently in turn 4 right now, but that pretty close right there.
Yeah, so it was a good start to the Daytona 500, just not a good sequence of events over the last couple minutes, as we'll have the choose cone here. Matthew White's going to choose outside for your leader. Cameron Chandler going to choose inside. There's Benton going to be choosing low. 42 of Malone will choose the outside lane, and you'll go kind of inside-outside for the rest of the field. Nobody really doing anything much back there. A bunch of cars go to the inside. Stacy Johnson. There's the 09 of Butler going to the inside. Cherry will take the outside lane. Not really sure what Andrew Stacy's doing here behind Landon Johnson. As cars will pull off pit road, I believe. Not really sure where Ashton Miller is.
Yep, a lot of people coming down pit road to top off on fuel because we just want to have as much fuel in the tank as possible. And you're also, as much as a lot of people hate it, you're probably going to see some fuel saving from some of these drivers.
All right, so we are 11 laps in to the Daytona 500. Becoming green this time by. Once again, just to clarify, Cole, they will not be able to make it to the end of the stage here with 39 to go.
Looks like, oh wow, actually I think we can. I currently have 40 laps, exactly 40 laps of fuel right now, and we have exactly 40 laps to go to the end of the stage. So, I mean, unless you're the lead car out front, I think we all should make it, but it could be close for some drivers.
So unfortunately, as we take a look at the field situation, a lot of cars going to the end of the longest line. So unfortunately, Ashton Miller, I believe, has gone to the garage here only on the first 10 laps of the Daytona 500. Not what he wanted to see, but we're back underway in the Daytona 500 on lap 12. Cameron Chandler on the inside lane. Matthew White doesn't get a great restart up on the outside. Chandler will go way up the block as they head down into 1 and 2. White on the bumper of that number 8 machine. You got Benton on the inside here with Havrilla to his bumper. As they roll down the back straightaway, you can see the Matthew Rivera machine pulling on a line. There's the 9 of Bryce Benton ahead of the 22 of Cole Wilson. So inside lane once again starting to die off as we see Joseph Tucker go to the outside of Pacey Lindsay. Curley going to move down to the inside to push Havrilla in that 50 machine. Curley will find a place in line in front of his teammate and boss, Gio Turpin. Now you got Jacob Malone trying to side draft down to the inside. He'll lose spots in that Toyota. Oh, Nathaniel Roberts for some reason hit the wall in the back straightaway single file. Oh, Cole Wilson had a bit of a moment. Tyler Curley moved to the inside. What are we doing this aggressive early in the race? 3 wide middle for that 43. Only on lap 13, we've seen a bunch of aggressive moves. I think it's kind of just time to calm it down a bit. It's lap 13 of the Daytona 500.
I completely agree. I'm in the middle of the pack, and it's way too intense.
You got the top, about, what, 12, 13 single file. It's kind of a weird group of cars as they head back down here into 1 and 2. Oh, getting split 3 wide. Ortiz will split Rodriguez. He'll still go through the sucker hole. As 7 Hathorne makes an aggressive move in front of Hughes in that number 20 machine. 37 of Wyatt Young going low with the 21 of Carlos Ortiz. As they will come to lap 15 of the Great American Race. Ooh, more aggressive pushing down to the inside. So some drivers may be in slight fuel saving mode as we see Wyatt Youngwood going to the outside here to get a draft off of Andrew Stacy. Coming back down here to 1 and 2. Of course, something we did not see a season ago was a caution in the first 50 laps before the halfway break. Of course, we saw that here tonight.
Oh, we're wrecking.
You gotta be kidding me. As they wreck down into 1 and 2, or 3 and 4. All right.
This is a serious problem. Everyone just needs to just take a reset. Just reset and calm down, and let's go out there and just give her some time, because this is unacceptable. We have a 100-lap race. We're on lap 15, and we already have a ton of cars with damage, including mine.
I mean, what are we doing? We're just driving through each other at this point. Like, unbelievable. That is pathetic. And Hughes gets thrown from the wall with Andrew Stacy. They nearly collect Rodriguez. Youngblood has damage as well. You see Landon Johnson just making his way through. That is awful.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's anyone that has race-ending damage from that one. I don't really have that much damage. I got a little bit of a piece from it, but yeah, just really unfortunate start to this Daytona 500.
I mean, this is probably, I don't even know at this point. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. Not what we need to start the Great American Race whatsoever. We're only on lap 16. We've had 2 caution flags, and there are 3 cars currently out of the race. I mean, they just drove through each other. You see, I think it was Ortiz who just drove through another car. He's going to be out of the race with race-ending damage in that 21 machine. And yeah, just unfortunate. All right. Well, we are 17 laps into the Daytona 500. We have some cars in the back on pit road that were involved in that. Some of them that were involved in that accident, and others that were involved in the first accident, trying to get damage repairs. So as they roll off pit road here, the 50 of Havrilla and others back here. You got the 96 of Andrew Stacey, the 42 of Jacob Malone. There's the 71 of Cole Clawson. There's the 36 of William Reagan. 77 of Braden Hunsticker, the 37 of Wyatt Youngblood, the 82 of Aiden Donahghue, currently on pit road, and others. There's the 96 of Stacey, who got involved in that wreck, of course. He's got pretty decent damage on that 96 machine, so yeah, just unfortunate. 2 cautions in the first 17 laps after last season had 0 in the first 50. Also ran the first half of the Xfinity Series race clean and green as well.
Yeah, hopefully we can have basically the opposite of the Xfinity race and get a long green flag run in the second half and possibly see some green flag pit stops. But I think the possibility of green flag pit stops are definitely go down now because people are going to be getting more aggressive than they are now later in the race.
Yeah, so I would say honestly at this point, green flag pit stops are out the window because there's no way we're not going to have cautions late in the race. I mean, unfortunate. Could have been good strategy. Drivers were practicing on pit road during practice, but just some people driving over their heads early in the race for some reason. Still got about 8 or so cars on pit road trying to repair some last-minute damage. So there's minor damage throughout the fields right now for most cars. We'll go come to the shoes, so it'll be Chandler and White picking outside. Nathaniel Roberts going to pick the outside as well. This will give the front row to the 5 of Christian Leonard. And he's going to have to pull up. And now he will. As they choose back here as well. We'll restart on lap 19 of the Daytona 500. And try to get this one back underway. We're currently under the second caution flag of the night. Something we really did not expect early in this one.
Yeah, it's always just, you never know what you're going to get when you come to these super speedways, not just in FedEx, but literally in real life and just any other iRacing you're in.
And yeah, we got Wyatt Youngblood, I believe, out of the race as well. So the field's starting to thin out slightly early in this one. Which is not something I expected to say today whatsoever after Xfinity, the last season's Daytona 500, and more. All right, here we go once again. Cameron Chandler has been up front for a bit as of late. Cameron Chandler and Christian Leonard have a bit of history. Remember back to Martinsville Xfinity a season ago. So this should be interesting with both of them on the front row. All right, let's try this again. Restart in Daytona. Back underway. On lap 19 of the Great American Race. As they head back down into 1 and 2, you got Cameron Chandler and Matthew White pushing on the outside. You got that 8, got the 7 on his bumper, the 15, Nathaniel Roberts back there as well, the 9 of Bryce Benton, Pace and Lindsay, and the 99 lined up as well. One car, Matthew Rivera dropping out of line. Got Connor Aswell looking to the inside. And down the back straightaway. Momentum starting to build here for Tucker and the 5 of Leonard. They are affiliated teammates with ETR, not officially teammates, but they do have a technical alliance as we come to lap 20 of the Daytona 500. Currently leading the 8 of Cameron Chandler, your defending Xfinity Series champion. Then he's got the defending Daytona 500 champion, Matthew Wyatt, from a season ago. Currently 31 laps to go till the halfway break. They should, after that caution flag, be all good on fuel to the end. As they start to check up back here once again with Tyler Curley and Gio Turpin. You see Richard Cherry dropping in line ahead of Jacob Malone. To the outside goes that number 42 machine. Inside lane once again starting to break up. Landon Johnson finding a place in line on the inside. Also got Cole Wilson back there starting to bobble. There is Brad Havrilla currently running in the 8th position. Tucker on the bumper of Leonard down this front straightaway. You got Hathorne there as well. Cole Wilson with Havrilla on his rear bumper also. Of course, this race started off with 2 caution flags after, of course, going green the first 50 laps in season number 3. Most notably, Ashton Miller taken out of the race as we see Matthew White trying to get some clean air on his nose back to the bumper of Miller. You do want to do that at these super speedways. I know clean air doesn't really mean a whole lot with performance-wise. I mean, like, driving-wise, handling-wise, or whatever. But, of course, clean air does mean you're not going to be overheating. And if you overheat too much, like Matthew White could be doing in the moment, if he doesn't get off Chandler, now he does, you will have an engine failure and you will blow up. We've seen that in the past in Daytona. We did not see that in the Cup Series last season at the Daytona 500, but we did see that in the Xfinity Series a season ago for the season opener at Daytona.
We also saw it last night with Matthew White, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So he definitely has bad memories of that as they start to check up on the outside once again to the bumper of Cameron Chandler. You got Havrilla going low. Landon Johnson had the squeeze out of line. So you get back to the 3 and 4. Got Bryce Benton on the outside. He's been quiet so far tonight. The 99 of Pace and Lindsay as well. And rolling down the front straightaway they go. You can take a look at this second group of cars as well, and another third group of machines. And others on pit road. Of course, unfortunate night so far for Andrew Stacy in his first full-time race as a Cup Series driver. Currently sits on pit road. Of course, the driver that will finish in last if he's somehow not, if he's not able to make it back onto the racetrack, will be Ashton Miller in that P34 position. Cameron Chandler has led the most laps here tonight so far in the Great American Races. We will come to lap 25, halfway in the first half. Nathaniel Roberts thinks about pulling low, and now he's going to get in front of that number 5, Christian Leonard. An aggressive move, late to move low. Bryce Benton will now be stuck on that outside lane. Leonard will get to the bumper of that 15. Of course, your pole sitter, Nathaniel Roberts, a very big upset for the pole. So they head back down on the back straightaway. Big run for the 15. Nathaniel Roberts will retake the lead in Daytona. Now you got Christian Leonard clear outside. We'll see if he goes top. He's pushing that 15 once again down this front straightaway. He's got Joseph Tucker on his rear bumper and 7 Hathorne in that 18. Oh, he gets that 15 a bit sideways once more. Got to be careful with the pushes, especially still only on lap 26. Side by side for the lead in Daytona. Nathaniel Roberts and Cameron Chandler. Matthew White back to the bumper of that number 8 of Chandler. Benton Lindsay and that number 42 of Jacob Malone lined up on the outside as well. Momentum once again comes for Roberts and Leonard. They are now clear with Joseph Tucker and maybe even 7 Hathorn. They move to the outside, so 3 ETR affiliated cars, Tucker, Leonard, and Hathorn all in line. Tucker now leading the outside lane, help from Cameron Chandler. Of course, Joseph Tucker, a rookie in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series, so is Christian Leonard, both of them in their first full-time seasons. Andy Roberts, one of the part-time series drivers here once again, and then he got, of course, in his first full-time year, but not really a veteran or a rookie whatsoever, Cameron Chandler in the 8. He gives a huge shove to Tucker down this back straightaway in the 3 and 4. And Chandler goes to the inside. He'll have Matthew White going with him for the lead. Cameron Chandler will lead that lap as Tucker decides a side draft. Bit of an interesting moment as Leonard and Hathorn will go high. 2 of the ETR cars starting to work together. ETR affiliated cars dominated this race a season ago. So you got 4 of them on the outside, joined with that 42 of Jacob Malone. Oh, trouble! Roberts goes around. He will spin. He will most likely save it. Oh, what is he doing? Coming back up into traffic. He's on the back straightaway. No caution yet. We'll see if he gets it going, and he should be able to get it going once again. And what? Okay. We will say green. But that'll kind of check up the pack and separate them a bit. With the first maybe about 6 cars clear. Then you got that second group of machines led by Bryce Benton. He's got Cole Wilson on his bumper. Brad Haverilla there as well. We're turning 29 laps into the Daytona 500. And Nathaniel Roberts goes around. Looks, we didn't really have a great view of what happened there, but obviously got turned. Now this group of 6 cars, as Leonard's going to move to the inside of that 62 of Tucker, actually going to go bail on his teammate. He'll have Hathorn down to the inside as well. They're going to have to have this second group start to catch them, as I believe they probably would. Currently on lap 30, 21 to go till the halfway break. So 6 cars now up front. Definitely a very, very weird look here in Daytona. They're side by side. Oh, as Leonard gets a big shove by Hathorn to get to the lead. Tucker's going to fall in line with Jacob Malone. Leonard all over the, Hathorn all over the back bumper of that number 5. As they head back down the front straightaway. No fuel-saving mode, most likely, for your leaders. Tucker tried to find a place in line ahead of Chandler and White. He was not able to do so. Look at this second group. They are still mostly single file, led by Bryce Benton. Now the first group will get single file. Second group back about 2.5 seconds. We're going to have to see if they're able to start to catch up. 2.3, so they are catching them, rolling down the backstretch. Definitely been a very, very strange start to this Daytona 500 so far. Last season was just about as normal as you can get. A clean first stage, green flag pit stops. I mean, normal Daytona 500 stuff. This season, with 20 to go till the halfway break, it has been the complete opposite. But familiar faces that dominated this race last season at the front of the grid, most notably 7 Hathorn and Jacob Malone. Christian Leonard currently leading. And that second group of cars definitely coming quick on the inside. Led by Bryce Benton. That about 1.4 seconds away. And you'll have the 8 of Chandler pull to the inside with Matthew White and the 62 of Joseph Tucker. Malone's going to get in line. Now you got Hathorn and Leonard kind of sled out the dry on the outside. They'll try to side draft down this front straightaway. Now White and Chandler go up top to block the run coming from the 5 and the 18. Bottom now is led by that number 62 of Joseph Tucker. He'll get to the inside, help from Malone. Big shove from Benton as well. Huge momentum down the back straightaway. Malone still all over the back bumper of Tucker, still giving him a shove. He is getting nearly way too far out front. Malone gets some clean air on his nose. He'll pull to the outside, and they'll get up to the top lane and clear themselves on Benton and Chandler as they head down into 1 and 2 yet again. Ooh, momentum falling back for Seven Hathorn and Christian Leonard as they start to fall back through the field. So weird looking pack up front. We're going to look back here real quick to see that second group of cars. We got 3 cars in line back here. You got 5 cars in line over here. Another car, that 96 Andrew Stacy. Another 3-car group with Nathaniel Roberts leading it. 2 cars on pit road, and then the main pack with about 20 cars up front. There is Benton pulling to the inside. He'll have help from his teammate Chandler, who gets him a bit loose. Oh, a big block by Jacob Malone. Same thing with Joseph Tucker. That'll get the field all split up. You'll have the 22 Wilson go to the outside with the 7 of Matthew White. Teammates are trying to work together and not help other teams. It's mostly being shown with Team Chevy Motor Club and Ethan Trendler Racing. Oh, a big block. Landon Johnson and Gio Turpin. That was aggressive. As 72 of Connor Aswell makes his move to the inside. Joseph Tucker heading down the front straightaway. Here's Benton and Chandler. Tucker gonna make the block. Oh, Chandler nearly turns his teammate. Got to the quarter panel of Bryce Benton. Almost had him turned around. Now Chandler goes to the outside. The 72 of Connor Aswell going with him. Benton gonna get split 3 wide middle. We'll have Tyler Curley going 4 wide on the inside lane. He's gonna have to drop out of line and go somewhere as they are getting really, really aggressive as they hit 3x3 through turns 3 and 4. Benton falling back a bit with Matthew White. Got the 50 of Pavarilla up on the top as well. Christian Leonard trying to make something work. You got Malone 4th in line, then Tucker on the inside with Cherry. "37 laps into the Daytona 500. Currently leading is Cameron Chandler in the 8. Connor Aswell on his rear bumper.
Oh, the 62 almost cleared himself on Pace and Lindsay.
Nearly a wreck. I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and Joseph Tucker still continuing to fall back to 12th, possibly 13th, with Cherry on his inside. As now they will run single file. Top 3 cars from the Team Chevy Motor Club Alliance, besides Asbel. You got Team Chevy Motor Club for Cameron Chandler, Showtime Motorsports for Connor Aswell, and then for Colton Wilson, you have Chandler Wilson Racing. Then up there, Johnson Motorsports for that 42 of Jacob Malone, in an alliance with ETR. Coming at 12 laps to go till the halfway break in Daytona. There's Matthew White pulling out of line. Pace and Lindsay, Joseph Tucker making some moves back there. You got Tyler Curley on the outside. Trying to side draft Tavarilla is Matthew White. Now he'll drop in line with Pace and Lindsay. Not a whole lot of momentum happening on the bottom lane. They really had a wreck down here, I believe. 20 of Hughes with some damage. Aswell all over the back bumper. Now going to move to the inside of his teammate. And a big shove by Matthew White to the bumper of Connor Aswell. He gets that 72 sideways. As they come in a lap 40 in the Great American Race. Connor Aswell is clear all arounds. Aswell and White, they finished 1-2 in the opposite order a season ago in the Daytona 500. Matthew White pushes Connor Aswell back up the racetrack. Jason Lindsay and Joseph Tucker now follow in line, so will Tyler Curley. Jacob Malone trying to find a space in the line as they come back to 10 laps to go to the halfway break. You got Joseph Tucker elected to make a move to the inside. Nobody goes with him. Andrew Stacy's slow car on the apron. Still trying to get damage repair. What is he doing? Coming back up into the field. That was terrible. Lindsay now, Curley as well. You got momentum coming with Joseph Tucker back out in the inside lane. Oh, Tucker gets a nice shove from his teammate Jacob Malone. Also got Cole Clawson, Landon Johnson, William Reagan. All ETR affiliated cars besides Cole Clawson. Now here is Tyler Curley moving down to the inside lane. His teammate Gio Turpin, I believe, is in the second pack of cars. Curley, big momentum, looking to take the lead side by side with Connor Asbell. Door to door for the race lead. Ooh, momentum kind of checks up bottom as Curley and Tucker still beginning to work together. You got the 42 Jacob Malone back there as well. Had a kind of a decently long green flag run as of late. So they kind of start to check up back on that outside. Cameron Chandler, Cole Wilson, some others. Payson Lindsay still third in line. Matthew White trying to side draft Joseph Tucker back. Connor Aswell and Tyler Curley currently on the front row battling for the lead. Lap traffic ahead. That is a three-car group of Walker, Roberts, and some others. I believe Gio Turpin involved with that three-car pack as well. It is 7 laps to go till the halfway break in Daytona. Definitely felt like a pretty long first half, especially with the caution flags. It has not really flown until now. Now you got this group of about, what, I would say 17, 18 or so cars, the main pack. Then you got a bunch of little packs throughout the field, about 4 of them. And some cars still on pit road. Curley side drafts that 7 of Matthew White. Connor Aswell back on the outside. Tyler Curley with momentum back to the inside. Joseph Tucker to his bumper. Jacob Malone there as well. So stage points are going to be on the line very, very shortly. How much will the aggression pick up? Car group, they will probably catch them. Hopefully they catch them in a decent spot and everything is able to go on cleanly. Ooh, Lindsay pulling out of line just slightly. Now you got the 62 of Joseph Tucker trying to push on Tyler Curley. They mean maybe like 1 or 2 more cars down in that inside lane to make it work. Also, the lap traffic they're going to have to get around. Oh, what are they doing? Everybody trying to get out of the way. The 20 is all in the way. That is Hughes. So they're getting split down this back straightaway. Tucker gets the bumper of Roberts, gets him a shove. Havrilla is... How did they all save it? I don't really know. That was impressive by Havrilla and others. Very, very impressive stuff there. Somehow they all didn't go around. Thought for sure we were about to have a multi-car accident, but they all were able to hang on to it with 4 to go to the halfway break this time. So halfway break is official with 4 to go. Caution did come out now. The stage ends. The stage results would be frozen, and the halfway break would count as now. Gio Turpin actually has some back-end damage from a prior crash here on the back straightaway. Oh. Falling in line there again with Malone and Curley. There's Turpin. No back end of that machine as he continues to fall back.
What is he doing, dude? Get out of the way.
Curley blocks Cole Clawson to find a place in line. So after that big checkup, we have dropped even more cars off for the main pack. Here with 3 to go to the halfway break, you got Joseph Tucker, who has some front-end nose damage with Jacob Malone on his bumper as they push down to the inside lane. Currently in the free pass position is Nathaniel Roberts. And it all got very, very close there for a while. Come back to 2 to go to the halfway break. Top 4 separating themselves pretty nicely as they head down the front straightaway yet again. Coming to halfway in Daytona shortly. It'll be 1 to go till the halfway breaks. Top 10 all are going to be awarded stage points. They come back to the final lap till the halfway break. Currently 8 full-time drivers inside of the top 10, so they are in a pretty position to try and score stage points. Final lap before the halfway break as they head back into 1 and 2. See Curley moving to the inside here. Here's Joseph Tucker going low, so moves are being made. Curley will go to the outside. He'll go maybe 3 wide middle. Thinks better of it as they head down the back straightaway in the final time in this stage. Not a whole lot of momentum going low. Matthew White, I'm going to assume, is going to have to pull out of that line with Asbel at the last second. Curley goes. There goes Chandler to the inside. Oh! Curley was sideways. Chandler has a big run coming down the front straightaway. Here they come to the green and white checkered flag. Matthew White pulling out a line side by side. As they come to the line, it'll be Matthew White at the line as the caution will come out for the stage. Matthew, oh! What are they doing as they nearly spun to the inside? Landon Johnson and Nathaniel Roberts as the green and white checkered flag came out, got together. Let's take a look at what happens. That nearly caused an accident. They both somehow were able to save it. Let's take a look. So green and white checkered flag. Oh, it was Malone that checked up. Oh, and then he hit Johnson, who made a great save bouncing off that 15. So I don't really think they're going to have much damage. So let's take a look at that stage finish between Connor Asbel and Matthew White. Matthew White played it perfectly there at the end. Pulls out a line to the inside. Lindsay went 3 wide on the bottom. That's how close it was for the stage. We're halfway in Daytona. The Daytona 500 halfway through. An impressive run to the inside for these drivers for the stage. It'll be Matthew White, your defending Daytona 500 champion, picking up the green and white checkered flag. All right. So we will see, of course, halfway break pit stops here underway for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series Season 4 Daytona 500. It was definitely a long half here in Daytona. Made it even longer with the cautions that flew early in the race. We had about, what, a 30-lap green flag run to the green and white checkered flag after the last caution we had. Currently working the third caution of the night, of course, for the stage. All right. These cars will come to pit. Here they come. Led by Matthew White. So your leaders are on pit road for halfway break pit stops in Daytona. So this will bunch the field back up. Getting the free pass, I believe, is going to be Nathaniel Roberts. So he'll be back on the lead lap in this 15 machine. We'll see if anybody takes the wave around, just to try to bet on a caution coming out. Of course, there's no more wave rounds given. You actually have to do that manually to yourself now by staying out. Good stop for Matthew White. Good stop for Cameron Chandler. Matthew White's going to be off pit road first. Second's going to be Payson Lindsay. And third's going to be Chandler. Fourth, Curley. Dropping spots is going to be Connor Asbell. Not really sure where he is. He's still not rolling off of his box. He's still in his box here in the 72. So Asbell, not a good stop whatsoever. As Logan Giesbert comes off of pit road in that 80 machine. There's Eli Tomlin. There's the 00 of Walker. The 81 of Rodriguez. There's the 09 of John Butler. The 96 of Andrew Stacy, who is currently multiple laps down. 15 of Nathaniel Roberts, who should get the free pass. Getting some damage repair on his nose is Joseph Tucker. Let's see how good it looks. He's did a pretty good job repairing that nose for the 62. Everybody getting set for the second half in Daytona. Braden Hunsaker, he's been quiet tonight. I don't believe he's not laps down, sorry. He's on the lead lap currently, but he really hasn't been up there battling for anything. There's Aiden Donahghue, who's also been very quiet tonight. Rolling off pit road is the 88 of Landon Johnson. And staying out is TJ Hanley in that 45, or in that 12. So currently, of course, under the halfway break. Should be coming to the choose this time by Hanley. Will most likely pit, I think. Here we go. Choose cone outside for White, Lindsay, Chandler, and Curley and Benton. And that'll, I don't think I've ever seen that before at a super speedway. The top 5 all choose to get outside lane. That'll leave Christian Leonard, Seven Hathorn, and William Reagan on the inside. Definitely a very, very interesting moment there. All right, so we'll be back underway well over halfway here in Daytona on lap 55. So welcome back live. Finishing up the halfway break, so we got a lot of cars trying to catch the end of the field, as you can see. Roll down the front straightaway here. All right. So, Cole Clawson, our in-race reporter, what do we expect to maybe see in this second half? So, of course, this first half was a lot more chaotic than we initially thought. What is going to possibly happen in this second half?
Yeah, the first half was really confusing, and I think the second half is going to be even more confusing. I have absolutely no clue what's going to happen, but I'm prepared for it, and I'm prepared to go to the front.
All right, as we will restart here on lap 55 in the Daytona 500. Matthew White, your current leader. Christian Leonard, who's out inside. Ready to be underway for the second half in the Great American Race. Leonard, White on the front row. Back to the restart zone they go. Second half underway in Daytona. Ooh, initially getting aggressive. 7 Hathorn getting split in the middle. Leonard just barely gets in front of Cameron Chandler. That 8 machine will hit the wall slightly. They, of course, have history like I mentioned earlier. So that's not going to be very friendly between the two of them. Going back to Martinsville Xfinity last season. There's Jacob Malone in the middle trying to find a place in line. Matthew White got a decent restart. He's got that 99 of Payson Lindsay on his bumper and that 5 of Leonard. And then here's coming to the inside, a huge run. William Reagan to the inside with Richard Cherry. Still shoving him as that 29. 2 Ford Mustangs work at the front of the field. Still, Payson Lindsay all over the back bumper of Matthew White. They head back down into 1 and 2. Lindsay, of course, is one of the most aggressive super speedway racers out there. We'll have to see what he does once the the pay window is open. Tucker, Malone, trying to go bottom. They're going to be 3 wide with Havrilla on the bottom of the racetrack. They're going to have to get a huge shove now as Tucker's in the middle of 3. Nearly contact as he tries to side draft his affiliated teammate William Reagan. Cameron Chandler going to go down ahead of Joseph Tucker. Oh, Tucker gets loose, pushing that 8. A big run by Cameron Chandler. Where is he going to take it? Oh, trouble! In the wall, Christian Leonard. Benton spins to the inside. And they all are able to save it, but the caution will come out. Christian Leonard with big damage on his 5. The yellow flag out for the first time in this for second half. And the 5 of Leonard is all torn up. He's really the only one involved, but it's right in the front of the field, so the caution will fly. Unfortunate, Leonard was having such a great night. Just restarted on the front row. Let's take a look at what happened to bring out this caution. So, of course, in line on that outside lane with Cameron Chandler, as he just pushed Cameron Chandler to the lead. Oh yeah, Tyler Curley got him, and then he hooks Malone, who had a good save. Benton slammed into William Reagan. Have to check damage there. It's right along here with that that number 43. Yeah. Bit too much of the push. And then he got slammed by Malone, and everybody somehow saved it. Reagan and Cherry playing doors. They nearly had a collision. But luckily, they were all able to hang on to it. Let's ride along with the number 5 of Leonard. Yeah, Curley just got there way too aggressively.
We have people wrecking under the, oh my gosh, the 18 of 7 Hawthorne got packed from behind of someone that was trying to get their lap back. I have no idea what just happened.
I mean, if that's what just happened, that is pathetic.
Yeah, you gotta take a look at the replay.
So Hathorn up to the outside. What is Nathaniel Roberts thinking? I mean, wow, okay. So we got cars coming down pit road. I think they should be good to the end if they pit now. So leaders all come to pit. Fuel only, it looks like. It's Matthew White's going to race Payson Lindsay off pit road. And it looks like Payson Lindsay actually won the race off pit road. Diego Rodriguez is going to stay out with the 80 of Giesbert, who's currently 1 lap down. Tucker going to roll off 3rd. 4th will be Wilson. 5th will be that 43 of Carly. But all torn up is that number 5 of Christian Leonard, and not what he wanted to see at all. That thing is done. Christian Leonard, that thing definitely not going to be running for the rest of the night. Unfortunate start to his first Daytona 500 and his first full-time Cup Series campaign. That 5-car of Leonard is all torn up. 7 Hathor now has damage after getting slammed for some reason with Nathaniel Roberts.
Yeah, after that wreck happened, Leonard came over the voice chat and told the 43 of Curly that something like that just it was never going to work, which is pretty understandable, pretty frustrating for Leonard. But it seems like 43 has been, a little bit aggressive all night long, so we'll see what happens with him.
Yeah, so as you see, Giesbrecht, he's currently 2 laps down. I think he's going to either stay out and take the wave around or pit. Rodriguez, he's currently your leader. Yeah, Tyler Curley, we've seen him, like Cole said, make some aggressive moves here tonight, and that was definitely a little bit too aggressive. We're going to come back to 41 to go in Daytona on lap 60. Rodriguez will pit. As we come to the choose this time by, don't mind Giesbrecht. We'll just get this wave around. So Payson Lindsay goes to the outside. Same thing with the 7, same thing with the 8, same thing with the 62, and that'll give the front row to Cole Wilson. I know the outside is strong here at this next gens at Daytona, but that is really, really insane that it seems like every single restart, the leaders all pick the outside, and sometimes it's up to 4 of them. And 5th place goes to the front row. That will be Cole Wilson this time. Haverilla moves up, so does Erdman, and we'll have lots and lots of cars trying to catch the end of the field. Well, we will restart here with 40 laps to go. In the Season 4 Daytona 500. Sun is beginning to set just off in the horizon. In the second half of the Daytona 500. So I don't know how big of an issue the sun is going to be for these drivers. Down, I don't know where it is exactly. I believe it's 3 and 4. But once the sun goes down, let's take a look. Yeah, it's actually down the front straightaway, so it won't be as bad. At Talladega, it is really, really bad in 3 and 4 when the sun's going down there. I know it usually doesn't go down there for a race because, it doesn't have lights.
We've cut it close a couple of times, though.
Yeah.
I think the worst track for the sunsets is Darlington. Going into turn 3 at Darlington, the sun just shines right in your eyes. Sometimes you can't even see the corner.
And down the, look at this. You saw that angle down the front straightaway. Definitely better camera angle down here. See a whole lot more pace cars coming down pit road yet again. We have 40 laps to go in the Season 4 Daytona 500 back to green. Good restart for Payson Lindsay on that outside lane. Cole Wilson was kind of getting checked up with Havrilla on his bumper, so not a whole lot of momentum on the inside. They still did an okay job getting going. Top 3, Lindsay, White, and Chandler have really been working together all day long. Of course, 1 car from Highline Motorsports, 2 of them from Team Chevy Motor Club. Cole Wilson in that 22 is able to do on the inside lane with Connor Havrilla and that 94 of C.J. Erdman. To the outside goes Matthew White. Payson Lindsay makes a big block. He will be falling in line. Now you got momentum coming low with Connor Havrilla and that 62 of Joseph Tucker. See as they check up once again down the back straightaway. Got 3 wide action. Jacob Malone through the middle. He's got the 72 of Connor Asbell on his bumper. Oh, Curly to the bumper of Tucker. Nearly got him sideways. As they head down the front straightaway yet again. Coming to lap 63 of the Daytona 500. So this is definitely an interesting part of the race. You still have about, what, 38 laps to go? But you don't want to ride around for too much longer, but also 38 laps is a pretty long time here in Daytona, so you still can make a whole lot happen. Now you got Havrilla leading that inside lane. Oh, maybe a third lane forming with Cole Clawson down on the inside. Rodriguez here, Malone through the middle, and then 36 to William Reagan. Down through 1 and 2 they go yet again. Havrilla on the inside. Rodriguez finds a place in front of Jacob Malone. He gets squeezed up to the outside. They have to check up. An aggressive move by Diego Rodriguez to find a place in line. Nearly ended in a collision. They all hang on to it. Malone not happy about that. He's going to show some splinter by side drafting the absolute heck out of him. Down through 3 and 4. Oh, what was that? He turns him, and they're wrecking down the front straightaway. Around goes Rodriguez. Around goes Landon Johnson. That was a bit too much. Caution will come out.
That was completely pathetic. I mean, well, I don't know why. I don't know, but I don't know who caused that. But all I know is that Malone has been aggressive all night long. He's literally just been shoving at anyone he can. Doesn't matter if there's a car in front of him or not. And then he just shoves it, 3 wide wherever he can. Whatever.
Oh, Rodriguez came down on Malone. That's what happens. And then Rodriguez got shot by Landon Johnson as they spin down the front straightaway. Oh my God! You saw. Let's ride along here with Landon Johnson to see what he saw through this accident. Sun is kind of bad down the front straightaway. So, oh yeah, just did not see Rodriguez. Slams into him, then gets slammed from behind, and watch this. Whoa! My God.
Oh.
Let's ride along with the 15 of Nathaniel Roberts to see what was going through his mind in this one. Watch out. Whoa! That was close. That could have been a race over for both of them, but they should be mostly okay, I would assume.
Break is in the middle.
Once again, caution out in Daytona. We have definitely have had more caution flags than usual here in the Daytona 500. I mean, usually this race has, what, 4, sometimes 5 cautions. We go green the first half. Not tonight. And we're still only on lap 66 of 100. We'll see if anybody elects to pit here. I mean, we definitely have seen over-aggression throughout the night that we did not see in Season 3. Tyler Curley going to stay out. So Turpin and kind of the back half of the field is going to come to pit road. Funny thing is, a lot of the drivers that have been up front dominating tonight were up front dominating the Season 3 500 as well. And, like, I would say, what, like 70–80% of the field tonight was in the Season 3 500. So, I mean, it's not really that big of a difference for the roster.
I was actually one of the few that was not in this race last season. Then I had to back out like just a few days in advance, so I don't really have a lot of experience here in Daytona 500s as of recently. Obviously, I got 5th in the first one, and I had that insane crash on the final lap, and I think I got like 19th or something in Season 2. That one was not good for me, but hopefully we can have a good run till the end of this race.
Yeah, of course, looking back to the season number 2 Daytona 500 back in January, of 2024. It was definitely an interesting race there once again, but overall, Season 3 was the most impressive. This one still has time, and we had a good run going for some good racing. But it has been just a bit messy as of late. Pace and Lindsay currently leading here. Of course, he won the last race at Daytona for the Cup Series. Shaking it on the apron like he's out of fuel for some reason, but obviously he's not. I mean, actually, you never know with these Team Chevy Motor Club pit crews, or crew chiefs, I should say. Especially Pace and Lindsay's. He could be out of fuel right now. All right, here we go. Choose gun. Looks like they're gonna do it once again. How many cars are gonna go outside? 4, 5, 6. No, Curly's gonna take the front row. 5 cars. That's a new record. Go on the outside for the shoes. That'll move Curly 5 lanes up. All right, we will restart on lap 69. So we're over lap count of what any other NASCAR iRacing FedEx League race has had during speed weeks. Of course, the closest was the 60-lap Xfinity Series race. We're still going to have 32 to go in the Daytona 500 once we get back underway. So Tyler Curley, of course, has been aggressive all day long, like we have mentioned multiple times. How is he going to fare here on the front row? What a recovery by Gio Turpin. Remember, he was getting lapped before the halfway break with no back bumper. They found a back bumper cover because you're apparently allowed to do that here in the Cup Series. And they fixed that car up. He's currently running inside the top 5. Bit of pit strategy and getting helped out by the choose cone a couple of times, but still. All right, here we go. 32 laps to go in the season number 4 Daytona 500. Ooh, Curly kind of jumped on the leader. We're going to have to see what they say about that. He falls back in line. It looked like he went after Lindsay, and then Lindsay maybe stepped on the brakes, so I think he should be all right. Head down the back straightaway yet again, getting back up to speed. Curly, definitely momentum is hurting him on the inside, so that is just why so many cars have chosen the outside lane that we're leading, because that inside lane is definitely not the way to go on these restarts. Outside has been so dominant overall at super speedways in this next gen car. Coming to lap 70 in the Great American Race. Pace and Lindsay currently leading in Daytona. Leading the Daytona 500 in the 99. We'll have Matthew White on his bumper, who's kind of been second in line all day, I feel like, but of course did pull out a line behind Connor Aswell to win that stage. Connor Haverilla, I'm sorry, moves to the inside of Tyler Curley. He's getting a shove from his former teammate. Joseph Tucker thought about it. Oh, he almost goes 3 wide with Cole Wilson. They've got big momentum coming on the inside lane. A huge run by Connor Haverilla. He's to the inside of Pace and Lindsay, and he is now clear of the 99. New leader of the Daytona 500 It's Connor Havrilla. Will they elect to move up, which is the, of course, stronger line? No one moves up just yet. They are still staying bottom. The outside actually starting to lose momentum with Lindsay, White, and Chandler, and Wilson, and others. Hurley now leaves the 50 of Haverhill out to dry. Once a teammate, not a teammate anymore. Now you got 2 of the top 4 from Legacy Sim Club. Urban and Tomlin teammates start to check up there with Connor Asbell. The 99 of Payson Lindsay is on the outside as well. 30 laps to go in the Daytona 500. 29 to go this time by, though. Here is Payson Lindsay to the inside of Geo Turpin. Oh, in the wall slightly, Bryce Benton. He has to check up. Matthew White has a bobble. And now they're getting split.
Oh
Cole Wilson nearly goes around. Everybody trying to make it 3 wide throughout the middle. Benton goes low and ahead of Lindsay. Aiden Donahghue back there trying to make a move. He's to the outside. Now you got teammates from Legacy Sim Club, Tyler Curley and Geo Turpin in the outside lane. Matthew White and Cameron Chandler falling back. Oh, it's a big show. Oh, Turpin hard on the wall. Matthew White involved as they spin down the front straightaway. Caution will come out for once again as, oh, John Butler nearly got a piece of it. Matthew White's got front end damage. So does the 96 of Andrew Stacy. He is all torn up. And the yellow flag will fly once again in Daytona. William Reagan with damage. Geo Turpin as well. Let's take a look at what happened. It was just a big stack up. And yeah, it's just been I feel like a whole big day of those stack ups with this next gen car. Ooh, I want to get a better angle of that, but it looks like Tucker just stacked up with Turpin, got Matthew White. See the 96 of Stacey spins in with the 36 of Reagan. John Butler just avoided contact. Let's ride along with Matthew White in the 7 to see what he saw.
Matthew White was not riding the Dente in that one.
Oh, right in his path. Nowhere to go. And just unfortunate for the driver of the 7. Ooh, Andrew Stacy nearly, of course, got that 09 to John Butler. So let's ride along here with the 62. Oh, yeah, big checkup. And, yeah, just got him at a very wrong angle. And around he goes. Okay. Sorry about that. Get better angle riding along here with Braden Hunsicker. Good job by Hunsicker avoiding all of that melee. Had a quiet but solid night so far.
Yeah, I think the most frustrating part of these wrecks is that whenever there's a stack up, people just refuse to check up for whatever reason. Like, you know, I had the 20 car behind me, and you know, there's a massive checkup, and he literally just did not let out the gas, and we almost had a big wreck involving Malone and me and some others.
So we haven't had a whole lot of like huge wrecks. We've had a kind of bunch of these like little, maybe like 5 or 6 car wrecks tonight. Remember last season it all started off with the first incident caution of the night with a big one. So we'll see who comes down pit road. Havrilla thinks of it. Will not. We'll see most of the leaders probably stay out. In the back, first one going to be William Reagan with Matthew White. They both got involved in that accident. Going to have to get some damage repair. Matthew White, I would honestly say, kind of got away lucky with just some front end damage. But how bad is the engine damage on that 7? Usually you're just able to repair that, but the engine could be suffering slightly. There's a 00 of Walker coming to pit. And the 84 of Turpin still with damage after having a great recovery. 09 of John Butler, the 36 of William Reagan, and the 88 of Landon Johnson. 23 cars, now 24 cars as Logan Giesbrecht gets his wave arounds and free pass. Back on the lead lap. Bryce Benton currently leading. Then he got 3 cars from Clear High Racing, Connor Havrilla, CJ Urban, and Eli Tomlin. I'm sorry, actually, Tomlin owns Clear High Racing. He's actually from Giesbrecht. All right. 26 to go in the Daytona 500. We're coming to the choose cone this time by Bryce Benton. Finds himself up front in the 9. So how many go outside this time? We'll have to wait and see. If the top 2 go outside, I honestly am going to say Haverilla, Urban, and Tomlin all go low because they are on the same team. Of course, you got Team Chevy Motor Club teammates here, Benton and Lindsay, 1 and 2. All right, here we go. Time to decide for the choose. Benton outside. Lindsay goes outside like we expected, and the clear high cars are going to all go out. What? How many cars are going to go outside? Oh my God, I think that's even more of a new record. I think that's, what, 7 of them. Oh my. That'll give the front row to Matthew Rivera. That is just how bad the inside lane is on these restarts. As the sun is beginning to set here in Daytona officially.
I mean, the inside line isn't that big of a disadvantage, I think. I mean, it could be sometimes, but, you know, it all kind of depends who's stacked up in that line and if, you know, you got a good pusher on that second car in line there.
How about Matthew Rivera? Was running maybe like 12th or so back there, minding his business, has had a decent debut, been quiet, been good, been solid, and now he finds himself on the front row just like that. And the nerves have to shoot up for the driver of the 19. He finds himself to the inside of Bryce Benton. All right, here we go. It'll be 24 laps to go in the Daytona 500 once we get back underway. Back here, let's try to find Matthew White. There he is, the 7. Currently running 22nd. We're coming to the closing stages of this one. The Great American Race for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series in season number 4 has 24 laps to go. Oh, that's a big jump by Bryce Benton. Probably going to be not regretting that one because he's not locked up with his teammate Payson Lindsay. Now you got the 19 of Rivera going to the outside. Braden Hunsicker kind of all stuck on the inside. He'll drop to the outside. So will Aiden Donahghue. Oh, he checks up that Erdman machine. To the inside goes that 50 of Havrilla. Some beginning to set track conditions will begin to change slightly for these drivers. No, it's a super speedway, so it doesn't matter as much, but handling is still a bit of a factor here in Daytona. Momentum in the inside lane. Connor Havrilla getting a huge shove. Look at that push from Handley down the front straightaway. Havrilla will lead that lap. Handley now all over the back bumper of that number 50 machine. You got Cameron Chandler back on the inside lane. Same thing. Oh! In the wall, Tomlin, he saves it. No caution. We stay green. Here comes partners, I guess you can say. Oh, Payson Lindsay is sideways. He's able to hang on to it somehow. What an impressive save. As Aiden Donahghue is loose as well. He also was able to hang on to it. But now they're going to be losing the main pack. Lindsay falls back, so do others. And let's take a look who's actually in that main pack. It's just about these cars. They got to get single file in line if they want to make something happen. Now you got Havrilla currently leading, of course. Handley on his bumper. As they head down the back straightaway, Hanlon to the inside of Haverilla for the lead in Daytona. Cameron Chandler going with him to the inside lane. TJ Hanley takes the lead of the Daytona 500. And they're single file now. There is 9 cars in this main group. The second group has more. We'll see if they're able to get lined up, have a tow, and be able to catch up as we come to lap 80 of the Daytona 500. 21 laps to go. Joseph Tucker on the outside, help from Jacob Malone on his bumper. Lights will be on at Daytona very, very shortly. Officially 20 to go in the Great American Race. Gotta watch that second group. The intervals currently 2.8 seconds. Braden Hunsicker leading them. They got a bigger group of cars, of course, and they've got the tow from Haverilla. And it's rapidly closing. Actually, it's not closing too much. Honestly, might be dropping a bit. Haverilla falling back. There's the 42 Malone. And there's that group of cars pulling away. And this is bad news for them. Now they're side by side, so this is definitely bad news for these guys as they're going to go to the outside and have to try to pull. Oh, contact. Aiden Donahghue goes up the racetrack. He's now 3 wide with Cole Clawson down to the inside. Everybody trying to find a place in line. They're getting aggressive here. They know they have to go. Big block. Walker putting on Aiden Donahghue as Walker gets split through the middle of the pack. Donahghue back on the outside lane. They're losing even more time by doing this. And I don't even know if it's possible at this point. Now the leaders are kind of racing side by side. Tucker to the outside of that 9 of Bryce Benton. They're starting to close even a little bit more now, down to 2.6, I believe. They're closing rapidly once again as the leaders are door to door. Hanley trying to hang on. You got a big push. Here comes Cameron Chandler to the outside, help from Joseph Tucker and Matthew Rivera. Cameron Chandler takes the lead of the Daytona 500. He's got Joseph Tucker in the 62 all over his back bumper. Down to 1.9 for Hunsicker and others. They are going to get there if the pace continues. They got in line right at the right time. And there's the 43 getting a shove from the 20. They head back down into 22. Got Hanley up the racetrack. He knows momentum's coming bottom. Second group is coming with 17 to go. Hanley falling back, was just leading the Daytona 500, but falling way back, probably now outside of the top 20 or 25. So now I believe Hunsicker should have a bit of a tow. That group of cars is more than double the first group of cars, so they are going to have more rapid momentum here. Hunsicker on the inside. They're not really lined up too well back there again. They will try to get in line. It's a little car on the apron. That's Andrew Stacy's. Had problems all day. Now, Curley goes. Oh! Curley gets turned! He's going to slide back up into traffic. Big wreck happening now. And we saw that coming when he moved to the inside. Asbel involved. Curley is destroyed in the 43. And once again, another over-aggressive move by that 43 car. Caution's out with 16 to go. Let's take a look at what happens. So just, I don't really know why he made the move on Hunsaker. That was, I don't know. And then nobody goes with him besides the 20, who actually, I believe, actually turned him. So then Curley goes up to the outside, hits the wall hard, and then collects Matthew White slightly, and of course collects Connor Asbell. Let's ride along with the 72 of Asbell. Oh, checks up and barely got hooked. Right at the last second. Into the wall he goes. Riding along here now with Tyler Curley once we get to him. Just trying something new. Only the 20 went with him, and then, yeah, just gets him, learns him. And back in front of the field. Surprised that wasn't bigger. It was only 2 or 3 cars involved there, so definitely could have been a whole lot worse. So I'm assuming everybody's going to probably just stay out. Besides maybe the 20 who will pit. We got Jacob Malone coming down pit road as well. John Butler in the 09. The 43 of Tyler Curley. 72 of Connor Asbell. And there's the 90 of Tomlin pitting in the back as well. Tomlin currently 23rd. Alright, so they come down to make their stops. And yeah, 14 to go in the Daytona 500. Danny Roberts gets himself, I believe, now 1 lap down. 25th. I mean, this is definitely has been an interesting race tonight. Already amounts to the amount of cautions we had last season in the Daytona 500. But yeah, coming to the choose this time by Cameron Chandler, your current leader. We're in the closing stages now officially of the Great American Race. And the sun is setting. We'll be under the lights most likely for the finish. Just waiting for the lights to officially turn on. I believe they're just about clicking on, if not mistaken. Yes, they are. All right, lights are on in Daytona. And we'll have the shoes, 13 to go. Chandler Tucker go outside, and thinking better of it. Wilson gonna go to the inside. No, actually, you can't do that though. You already chose Cole, okay. I mean, technically there's no choose cone, so technically we can't do anything about it. Because there's not really a way to put a juice cone down there. I wish there was, but there's not. I mean, we could have somebody drive up onto the track and be the choose cone.
I'll do that next race in Kentucky.
Yeah, of course, speaking about Kentucky, the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series circuit heads to Kentucky Motor Speedway next race for race number 2 of the season. First 1.5 miles of the year, so we get to normalcy next Thursday night, and we're back to Thursday races for the next 24, not straight weeks, but mostly straight weeks. And the Xfinity Series heads to USA Speedway that Wednesday as well. And drivers like Christian Leonard, Andrew Stacy, especially even Ashton Miller, their points totals are going to be taking a big hit on this after early DNFs in Daytona. about Richard Cherry? He's had a solid day. He's been kind of quiet tonight, but up here running inside the top 2. He got the front row on the choose gun. Of course, he won the Xfinity Series race last night. That's the series he's full-time in. All right. It'll be 12 laps remaining in the Daytona 500. Pace car makes that hard left turn back down pit road. 12 to go in Daytona. Green flag back in the air. Cameron Chandler clears low on that 29 of Cherry. Now you got the 62 of Tucker on the outside lane. He's got to run the Amarillo's starting to check up the outside lane back there. Got the 00 Walker through the middle. He gets in front of the 82 of Donahghue. They all trying to find a place in line down this back straightaway 3 wide. There's number riding around. 12 to go. It's go time in Daytona. Aiden Donahghue now leading that inside lane. Braden Hunsicker goes low. With Matthew White, I believe that is also TJ Hanley. These 3 tore it up last season in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series. Especially Aiden Donahghue and Matthew White. As somebody blinks. Okay. 11 to go, and somebody's really milking badly. That is Cole Wilson. Cameron Chandler leading the Daytona 500. To the inside goes Havrilla, gets a shot from Cole Wilson. Brad Havrilla for the lead. Oh, in the wall. He's able to actually save it. Oh, back in front of traffic. See if we can keep it green. Only one car involved, technically. Another car got hit, but we'll stay green. There's no reason to throw the caution there. 10 laps to go in the Daytona 500.
There are some frustrated drivers out there because there's not a caution there.
Well, I mean, they all saved it, so what do you want me to do? We're not throwing cautions again for no reason for crashes in the back that were saved. To the outside, Cole Wilson on Connor Havrilla. Big checkup once again. Down to the inside, here's Bryce Benton pushing all of the back over. That's 50 machine. Richard Cherry in the outside lane as well. Side by side, Braden Hunsicker, how about Aiden Donahghue up here as well. Richard Cherry on that outside. Coming back to 8 laps remaining in the Daytona 500. Cole Wilson currently leading. What a story it would be if he could get the Daytona 500 victory tonight. Part-time in the Cup Series this season. He's an Xfinity regular, and he would love to taste victory in the Great American Race. Connor Havrilla still leading that inside lane with Bryce Benton. You got Jacob Malone through the middle of the pack. Matthew White's going to go with that 42 of Malone. Cherry checks up. There's Tucker checking up as well. Tucker going inside. He gets ahead of Havrilla. Momentum has to be built now. The outside lane is pretty dominant. So we will see what happens here. Oh, trouble! Big wreck happening down the front straightaway. Caution's going to come out. Cherry spins. They're wrecking once again as they all actually saved it through there. But 2, 3 cars, almost 4 of them involved. Cherry spins, Havrilla spins, caution is out. With 7 to go. Let's take a look at what happened. Oh, Cherry, I think, got neck coated there by Rivera. And Huntsicker spins down the inside. There's Benton. And Cherry goes around with Havrillo, who's unfortunately having such a good day, gets caught up in that accident. Let's ride along here with Connor Havrillo. Oh, yeah. Did a good job keeping it out of the wall. That was pretty impressive here by Connor as he spins down to the inside. Been a very, very chaotic Daytona 500. Much more than in recent seasons. Six to go. All right, final 6 laps race of this one here tonight. I mean, this has definitely been a race filled with way too much over-aggression. And just not a whole great look for these guys tonight, unfortunately. But hopefully we can somewhat salvage it with a great finish to the Daytona 500. All right. So we will choose this time by. It'll go green with 4 to go. Here we go. Wilson outside, Chandler outside, Tucker outside. How many cars are going to choose the outside lane? That'll give the front row to Matthew White. Behind him, it's going to be Pace and Lindsay. Aiden Donahghue, I mean, like, I get it's good, but, like, oh my God. Especially late in the race, it gets to a point where it's like, why? Five to go. This has probably been the most chaotic Daytona 500 in NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series history. It's been the most chaotic Cup Series race in a long time. Hopefully we can have a good finish here to finish it out. All right. Been a crazy one, but it hasn't been short of excitement. Four laps to go in the Season 4 Daytona 500. Cole Wilson, Matthew White, front row. Green flag back in the air. 4 to go. Here's Aiden Donahghue, 3 wide. An aggressive move on Pace and Lindsay and others. That inside lane gonna go straight to the garbage. Maybe not though, they're getting lined up here once again. Outside trying to push, we'll see where Joseph Tucker maybe tries to find a place in line with gap between him and Pace and Lindsay. Malone getting shuffled out through the middle. They head down this back straightaway. Matthew Rivera goes to the bottom of the track. Here comes Cole Wilson and Joseph Tucker going with him. Oh, trouble! And they're wrecking again. Maybe not. Yeah, the caution.
Yes.
All right, caution will come out again. I mean, this is just like pathetic at this point. The amount of cautions that we have had tonight is unbelievable. So let's take a look at what happened. Yeah, Johnson just got turned by Malone, his teammate. They all just run through the grass then. All right, let's ride along here with Landon Johnson to see what he saw. Done there as Tomlin spins through the grass, everyone else through the grass, caution comes out. It'll be overtime in Daytona. I mean, my God, this race has just been unbelievably chaotic. Okay, we're going to caution yet again. It will be NASCAR overtime. In the most chaotic Daytona 500 in series history. Not choosing yet. So a couple cars, 5 of them, actually come to pit. And we are officially under the lights here in Daytona, as we'll get you ready for the finish. It'll be NASCAR overtime. Be a first attempt of overtime, hopefully the only one we need. Oh, please. And those cars currently sit on pit road. All right, we'll come to the choose, this time by in Daytona. Here we go. Who's going to choose inside? Who's going to choose outside? Cole Wilson goes outside with Joseph Tucker. That'll give Matthew Rivera the front row. And that'll give Chandler and White up there as well. Second in line on the bottom is going to be Aiden Donahghue with Pace and Lindsay, CJ Urban. There's Bryce Benton on the top. Braden Hunsaker following in line. And cars coming off pit road. Just trying to finish this one out. And we are going to do this in Daytona. First race of the season has been no short of chaos. I mean, this is one of the most chaotic Cup races we've had in an extremely long time. Think back to some of the season #1 races, the amount of chaos we've had tonight. Green, white, checkered. For the win. You do not want to go anywhere. It'll be 2 laps to go in the Season 4 Daytona 500. Cole Wilson on the outside lane has been leading as of late. He's got Joseph Tucker as a pusher. How about on that front row, the 19 of Rivera. Wilson blinking pretty badly, unfortunately. All right, 2 to go. Pace cars down pit road. It is NASCAR overtime in the Season 4 Daytona 500. Green flag back in the air. A terrible restart in the outside lane. Nobody goes. As they head back down the front straightaway on the restart. Through turns number 1 and 2 goes Cole Wilson and Joseph Tucker. White and Chandler back there as well. As they head down the back straightaway. See Aiden Donahghue, Bryce Benton trying to get momentum there once again. Chandler looking inside of Matthew White just for a second. Still, it's Tucker all over the back bumper of the 22 car. As they come down the front straightaway through the tri-oval, they'll see the white flag. 1 to go in the Daytona 500. Final laps underway. Matthew White to the inside. Tucker blocks. Joseph Tucker for the lead. These two on the inside. Now you got the Aiden Chandler going outside. He's pushing Cole Wilson. Matthew White all over the back bumper of that 62 Tucker. Final time down the back straightaway. Oh, Wilson is loose. Chandler on the outside now. Aiden Donahghue on his bumper. There's the 77. Chandler blocks Wilson. They all get together through 3 and 4. They're wrecking behind him. Final time down the front straightaway. Chandler to the outside. Wilson to his inside. Here they come to the line. Side by side. Cole Wilson wins the Daytona 500. What a finish. Unreal. Cole Wilson is the Daytona 500 champion. What a finish in Daytona. And the fireworks will go off in the background. He has done it. What a finish to the Great American Race. It's the 22 of Cole Wilson going to victory lane for the first time in his career. His team owner, part-team owner, Cameron Chandler, will come to congratulate him. He will burn it down. Cole Wilson, your winner of the Daytona 500. Cameron Chandler comes up just short to P2. What a great first race of his season for Joseph Tucker. Comes home third. Great race for him. Aiden Donahghue in one of his Cup Series races this season. Very solid fourth place finish. And Chandler will burn it down with his part-team owner, Cole Wilson. How about it for Chandler Wilson Racing and the 22 of Cole Wilson? Continues to burn it down. And that'll do it. The finish of the Daytona 500. We hope you enjoyed. What a race. It all came down to the wire. Let's take a look at that final lap closer. And it was a photo finish at the line. So what a great move, though, by Cole Wilson to get that victory. All bets are off. Coming to this tri-oval. Goes to the inside. Here they come to the line. And that's how close it was at the start-finish line between Cole Wilson and Cameron Chandler. What a great finish here to the Daytona 500. And once again, another photo finish during Speed Weeks. And we'll get the angle real quick at the margin of victory. That's how close it was, finishing the Season 4 Daytona 500. So, of course, Chandler finishes second. Tucker going to be third. Donahghue fourth. Hunsicker rounds out your top five. He had a quiet day, but came home with a very solid top five finish. Benton, Tomlin in P7. Johnson, great finish in P8. Butler is ninth, and Cole Clawson rounds out your top 10. An unbelievable finish to the Great American Race. Let's ride along with that 22 of Cole Wilson to see what he saw. He knew he had one final shot at it. Went to the inside of Cameron Chandler. Down the front straightaway they go. And that's at the line. Now let's take a look at what happened in the final lap. It was Pace and Lindsay in the 99 getting turned around, and all melee back there. Oh, yeah. Benton just slides up into white. He slides into Lindsay, and they all get together back here. Lindsay and Urban both crash. And then, oh, on his side, I believe, is Hanley slightly, and they all wreck here. Ooh, hard fighting for that 50 of Pavarilla. And there's Jacob Malone sliding across into the wall. Across the line he goes. Let's watch what happened with that number 45 of TJ Hanley and that wreck that he had. It definitely looked like he got a bit of airtime, and yes, it did. Oh! Wow. Oh, God. Really on his side. Let's ride along with this 45 machine to see what it was like for him making his way through this accident. And, oh, there he goes. On his side. Nearly. Almost had it saved, though. Ends up getting spun across the line. Fireworks go off in the background. Take another look at that from the overhead shot. Here, the 99 of Pace and Lindsay. Nothing you could have done there. Final lap, all going for it. No fault of anyone, just squeezing each other hard. And everybody just going for it at the end as we see just we fly their way through to the checkered flag. Cole Clawson gained a bunch of spots there in the final lap, so good rebound for him. So let's take a look, one final angle here before we go to post-race interviews at the finish. Oh, Wilson. On the bumper, Chandler faked low, made a great move, side drafted him perfectly, and to the line they go. A photo finish at the line. If it was Talladega, Cameron Chandler would have had the edge. So you got that run there at the end. All right, that does it for the Daytona 500. We hope you enjoyed. What a race. Chaos all around, and we got some post-race interviews. I'm sure there's going to be some interesting things said here. Let's head downstairs to post-race. Cole Wilson, you have done it. You are a NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series Daytona 500 champion. Take me through how it feels and how you pulled that final lap move on Cameron Chandler.
Yeah, it was pretty hectic. Ran up front the entire race, and then just got the right push and run at the right time, and was able to get under Cameron and get him at the line. So super happy for the brand new team, Chandler Wilson Racing, for both the owners to get a 1-2 finish in the first race. So I had a lot of fun, and I'm very happy about the finish.
All right, so what statements is this for you guys making with your team, brand new team, Chandler Wilson Racing, going out and winning the Daytona 500 in your first team start?
Yeah, we were just me and Cameron were up front the entire race, showing CWR had the speed, and then at the end there, both of us played our cards right, and side by side at the line, we were able to get it done.
All right, well, big congratulations on your Daytona 500 win tonight. Have fun celebrating, and we will see you at USA Speedway for the Xfinity Series race next week.
Yep, thank you.
And that was Cole Wilson, your winner of the Daytona 500 officially tonight. He gets the job done. This race officially had 9 caution flags, so could have been worse. Definitely not the most we've had in the NASCAR Racing FedEx League before. I think back to past races, especially Season 1. Yeah. No comment there. Next up, Cameron Chandler. Cameron Chandler, it's oh so close here in Daytona. P2 in a photo finish, but of course your brand new race team, Chandler Wilson Racing, takes the victory. So your team wins, but you end up with a loss there in P2. So just take me through what's going through your mind right now and that finish.
I mean, yeah, it does suck we didn't win, but honestly, I'm completely fine for it. Back in the real life 500, during that weekend, we did an NIS, and me and Cole were in that exact same situation, and just roles reversed, and I ended up getting him there. So he got me back on this one, so that's completely fine. CWR second start, and we're already in victory lane. So, yeah, that's great, man. And I'm amazed we ran up front that whole time. Normally are awful at qualifying at super speedways, and ended up being able to lead majority of the race and led the most laps. So I don't know if there's a point for that, but currently leading first in points on all full-time cars, so that's good.
All right, so of course, a great race for you guys. You got great points situation now. P2, how much momentum is this going to give you guys going into next week at Kentucky?
I mean, yeah, I don't know how much it will give because it's 2 different tracks, as you should know. But yeah, Kentucky. Hopefully, we can be somewhat decent there, and looking for at least a top 5 there.
All right, well, nice job, of course, on the second place finish, and of course, congratulations on the team victory. And we will see you next week from Kentucky Speedway.
Yep, thank you.
Coming up next is going to be Joseph Tucker comes home P3. Joseph Tucker, a great race for you guys. You guys ran up front all day long, and it's ultimately a podium finish in P3. So just take me through what was going through your mind on that final lap, racing up front and having a shot at the victory, and ultimately coming home in third.
I was. I just wanted to block Matthew and see how big of a run we could get, and then Cole blocked me, and I thought I was gonna kill him, but that didn't happen. And I just had no teammates to help me those last 10 laps, 5 laps, whatever you want to say. I had no teammates helping because Jacob Malone died, and the other 2 people we were working with died too, and I killed one of them on accident. Oops. But either way, it was a fun race. I was able to stay in the top 5 all race, and then you called a caution right when I was making a move for the lead. How dare you? I couldn't do anything. You kept calling cautions for me, and I don't know. I could have had a better shot at doing it if I had a teammate to help, but I had to make all the calls on my own, and it didn't work.
All right. So, of course, coming into next week at Kentucky with a great run in the Daytona 500, how do we expect to see you to run in your rookie series, rookie campaign for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series this season?
You're gonna see a lot of me like near the end of the race. Kentucky, I won't be there because I don't have the track, depending on what variant. But I should be good long run wise, and I'm just hoping to have a fun season. As this is my first season, just hoping to get the Steelbox Chevrolet into victory lane once.
All right. Well, a nice job on the P3 finish in the Daytona 500. Of course, you said you won't be there for Kentucky, so we will see you for race number 3 of the Cup Series season. That'll be at Sonoma.
Thank you, sir.
Coming up next is going to be Aiden Donahghue. Came home with a 4th place finish. Aiden Donahghue, I guess you can say kind of returned, but even though you didn't really miss a race technically, you come home with a very solid top 5 finish in the Daytona 500. So it looked like for most of this race, you guys kind of played the safe game. In the end, it pays off, and you end up finishing P4. So just take me through that final lap, what it was like racing up for the win, and if anything could have gone differently for you guys.
Finally, finally racing for a win. The Super Speedway. It was so much fun. Oh no, I wasn't playing it safe there. It just whoever was stopped on pit road for some reason, it just ran into him, and we had 6 minutes of damage, so we had to repair that. But don't know why we're completely stopped on pit road. If you miss your box, you drive all the way through. I thought that was the rule, but anyway, doesn't matter. God, if we just didn't have that damage, I thought maybe we'd come out of turn 4 with a shove from Braden and win it. But I'm just happy we finished up front finally. I'm always wrecked in these things, finishing 15th, 20th. Oh, hey, there's a 7th, but nah, I'm happy with 4th. It felt like we won, and well, I hope the rest of these guys have fun this season. But I'll be back a little bit later. But yeah, we just survived, and that was the name of the game. So happy with the top 5.
All right, so if you're ready to announce it, I don't know if you did already, but if you are, you don't have to tell us. But if you are, what Cup Series race are we going to see you in next?
The next Cup race will be. I think I have it in here somewhere. Hang on, I gotta dig it out. The next one I think is Auto Club. I know it's pretty. It's soon. It is very soon. Give me 1 second. But we're doing 9 total, 3 Xfinity, 6 Cup. I know that. So what's the next race after this? If you don't mind me asking.
Kentucky.
Kentucky. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I think we're doing race 3. I looked at the schedule on the off season and was like, okay, let me see what we got going on here. And yeah, we're gonna do 9 races this year. We're gonna do both Dovers again, so hype about that. We're gonna do Rockingham and Xfinity. I'm really excited for that. Here's the list. I got it. Yeah. So the next one's gonna be Fontana, Auto Club, May 15th. That's the next one you'll see me in. And then I've got Darlington, June 12th, Rockingham, Xfinity. Watkins Glen Cup, Kansas Xfinity, Dover Xfinity, Dover Cup, and then Homestead, and that'll be the all the races I run this year.
All right. Well, nice job here on the top 5 finish in the Daytona 500 P4 for your 82 Showtime Motorsports machine, and we will see
Yeah,
you
man.
in Fontana in a couple of weeks.
Yes, sir, you will.
Coming up next here, post-race interviews from the Daytona International Speedway. It's going to be Bryce Benton. Bryce Benton, overall a solid day for you guys. You led a couple of laps here throughout the race in the Daytona 500. I think you got some stage points as well, and you ultimately end up with a top 10 finish, a P6 in the Daytona 500. So ultimately, are you happy with how your race went here today?
Yeah, definitely. I think surviving that race was honestly a win. Obviously, last season at Daytona and the regular season finale, we did not survive that. So at least we made it through the whole 100 laps. And we were able to at least come home with a solid P6. I'm pretty happy about it. It's probably I just did the best I really could in that situation I was in on that last restart. I made the most of it and was able to get to P6. Not quite enough to win, but I wasn't really expecting to win anyway because of how hard it is to win these super speedway races. So yeah, honestly, pretty happy with P6, and we'll move on to Kentucky.
All right, so as the season continues to roll on, what can we expect from your number 9 Team Chevy Motor Club machine? Do we expect you to be up there contending for wins week in and week out?
Yeah, definitely. I think we'll definitely get a win or two this season. Hopefully more than that. I've definitely gotten way better with my tire saving over the off season. So, we'll see if that helps me. It should. But yeah, I think we could definitely be a threat, and especially at the road courses. I'm really excited for Sonoma. That could be definitely a race we could get a win at. But yeah, we'll see how the season goes. But I definitely think we could get some wins.
All right, well, a nice job here on the top 10 finish in the Daytona 500 in Season 4, your first ever Daytona 500, and we'll see you next week from Kentucky Motor Speedway.
Yep.
Coming up next is going to be Eli Tomlin. Eli Tomlin, a solid top 10 finish for your Daytona 500 here in season number 4. So ultimately, take me through what was going on in the final lap. I know it was a whole bunch of chaos with the wrecks. How did you avoid all of it for the most part and end up coming home with the top 10?
Yeah, on the last lap, I started up on the top side, and then I was able to find my teammates there running on the bottom, and I was hoping we were going to be able to build momentum and finish it off there. But ultimately, I think a little net code got Payson and Matthew White together, so got a little bit of damage, but was able to get off of him and get to the line. So salvaged what was honestly a pretty terrible day.
All right, so of course, coming up next week is Kentucky, and then throughout the rest of the season, what do you think how do you think you're going to be able to run throughout the rest of this season?
Yeah, I mean, there's tracks I'm good at and tracks I'm not great at. I mean, my road course skills are infamous for being about as bad as they can be, but I hope at some of the intermediate ovals I can be competitive. Had a couple top 5s last year. Hope to have the same results this year. And then super speedways, I always have good pace if I'm not getting taken out or involved in incidents like I was tonight. But hopefully the whole team's going to be able to build some momentum and improve on what happened tonight.
All right, well, a nice job here on the top 10 outing in the Daytona 500 for Season 4, the season opener, and we will see you next week from Kentucky.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, you have a good night, Ethan.
You too. You too. All right, coming up next here is going to be Braden Hunsicker, came home P5. Braden Hunsicker, it was a very quiet night for you guys. Early on in the race, you guys got involved in a crash, so how did you rebound, make your way up through the field, and come home with a solid top 5 finish?
Well, I'm glad that the pace laps take a really long time because I was able to fix my damage, which was 7 minutes. And yeah, I just got lucky with the cautions, and both Aiden and I could fix our long damage repairs. But yeah, we just got back up to the top 10, and everyone started going crazy at the end, and we were just lucky to manage our way into a top 5 finish.
All right, so of course, top 5, great momentum starting the season in the Daytona 500. Then we're coming up to like a more normal track next week in Kentucky. What do we expect to see out of you next week from Kentucky Speedway, as you did win a 1.5-mile race last season at Chicagoland?
I definitely expect more pace from last season. I think we ran top 3 for some of the time at Kentucky, but yeah, I expect a lot more pace going forward, and hopefully we can get a couple wins on our belt.
All right, well, nice job here on the top 5 finish in the Daytona 500, and we will see you next week from Kentucky Motor Speedway.
Thank you.
Up next is going to be John Butler comes home 9th. So John Butler, kind of a chaotic race for you guys. You avoided a lot of accidents tonight from the looks of it, and you ultimately will come home with a top 10 finish, P9 in the Daytona 500. So taking through just some parts of your night and ultimately how you got to this P9 finish.
It was just all about playing it safe. I mean, last 500, I was up front running with my teammates and stuff, but I felt like, I don't know why, I just felt like this one would be different. Of course, I have my spotter, Baron Cohen. Superb job, very good job. Avoided me through all the wrecks, and the goal was just to survive to the end and not get turned on like 2 to go. And, well, yeah, we made it through to the end to get P9, so I'll take it.
All right, so we're heading to Kentucky Speedway next week. So at some of these 1.5-mile races, you guys ran pretty decently and had pretty good speed in season number 3. So do you think we're going to see some maybe even better speed and possibly win contending speed at Kentucky next week?
I would hope, as long as somebody doesn't turn in front of me and then blame me, I think I should be up there contending for the win.
All right, well, nice job here on the top 10 finish in the Daytona 500 to start the season, and we'll see you next week from Kentucky.
Yep, good night, everybody. Good night.
All right. Up next here is going to be Cole Clawson. Cole Clawson, a solid top 10 outing for you guys here in the Daytona 500. So, once again, it's P10. So, it was a pretty chaotic night for you guys. You were involved. You were saw just about everything that was going on the track. All the chaos that happened tonight. You avoided a lot of it. Just take me through your night here tonight for the Daytona 500 in season 4.
Well, I tell you what, I had my sleeves cut off this entire race, and I finished P10, by the way. You guess who else finished 10th in their respected race today? Cletus McFarland. Calmly, Cletus McClawson. But anyways, so yeah, that was certainly a pretty chaotic race. I really don't know what to think about it. But I was really only involved in 2 incidents, and one of them I only got 40 seconds of optionals in, and the other one was the last wreck of the race, which was really unfortunate. It really gave me a good amount of damage. I was thinking about pulling it down to pit road, but it's going to be an overtime restart. I'm not going to be able to gain a lot of positions if I did that, and a lot of the damage probably wouldn't even be repaired either. So I just stayed out, and I think that was definitely the right decision. I definitely fell back, but with those wrecking there in the tri-oval on the coming to the checkered flag, I gained a lot of positions there. So, I mean, overall, it wasn't really a bad race for us. I mean, we never really were racing in the top 5 that much. There's a few times where I got a big run on the bottom line, but, pretty interesting race. I mean, some people I just want to shout out here. Gio Turpin just parked it in front of me and just told me that I'm not getting any stage points, which, okay, I guess. And then Jacob Malone was just, going for gaps that weren't there all night long. I really don't know what to tell him. And then Braden Hughes, he's just showing through people. Yeah, there's a lot of people that just were not lifting off the gas until they see God or the checkered flag, which is just not, I don't understand at all. I mean, I was keeping a safe distance from the guy ahead of me during the entire race, but we finished ahead of a lot of good guys, and that's something to be proud of. And hopefully we can go to Kentucky next week and have a good run there. And so pretty good start to our season here.
All right, well, nice job still in the top 10 finish in the Daytona 500 for season number 4, and we'll see you at Kentucky Motor Speedway next Thursday night.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. coming up next here. Finishing up post-race interviews, got a couple more to go. Gonna be Richard Cherry. Richard Cherry, you guys will come home P11. He ran up front for most of the day. He just got involved in that late race incident that kind of looked like you gave you guys damage. So ultimately, is that what got you guys kind of out of contention for the win?
I just suck on this package. I mean, he's just so much different from Xfinity. And Xfinity, you have a lot more control in copy, bumper cars, just put out on the racetrack and trying to see who wins the race. And by the way, we have a new guy in the Ryan Davis Award, which is Tyler, the number 43. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I get he's upset about me making it 3. I probably shouldn't have, but I don't know why he's making it 3 wide on lap 20. Then he just, I don't know the complaints or anything, but still, you know.
All right, so of course you're full time in the Xfinity series. So you won the Xfinity race last night, so that was great momentum. What do we expect to see from you at USA Speedway next week for the Xfinity series on Wednesday? Do you think you can go back to back?
I mean, I think so, but I'm gonna have to see Cole and maybe I don't know who the other guy was, but he's really fast. So yeah, let's see. I don't know how many Cup regulars are gonna be in that race.
All right. Well, nice job still in the finish here tonight. A little bit of a rebound for you guys, and we'll see you at USA Speedway for the Xfinity series on Wednesday.
All right, thank you.
All right, coming up next here, it's going to be Davin Roberts. So Davin Roberts, it was such an eventful race for you guys. I don't even know where to start. So you started on pole for the Daytona 500. In your first ever Cup Series start, you get the biggest pole win that's possible in this league. And then you, of course, ran up front. And then you got involved in a wreck. Then you went down a lap. Then you got the free pass. Then you drove back up through the field. Nearly got involved in some more stuff. And you ultimately come home in P12. Just take me through this insane night for you guys.
Yeah, it felt really good getting pole. I honestly didn't expect. I'm not the greatest qualifier in super speedways, and I was happy to get it. And then we were running good. We were running in the top 5 all the way till about like, I don't know, lap 30. And then I think it was a netcode turn, but it is what it is. Just had to make my way back forward and got into another wreck. I think it was somebody either rolled into me and I got collected and made me go 2 laps down. So just was kind of praying for cautions. I was living off the cautions and just got back to the lead lap and I don't know. Got back to 12th, fortunately, but still a little disappointing.
So, what other NASCAR iRacing FedEx League events do we think we're gonna see you in this upcoming season?
Not sure. Hopefully either Atlanta or Talladega, whichever one comes first. I don't know. Looking to buy some more tracks, so and hopefully the real life racing schedule will help us out.
All right. Well, a nice job here on the finish here tonight, and of course earlier tonight winning the pole. And we will see you in the next Cup race you're able to do.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You too. So still got more post-race interviews to get through here tonight at Daytona. It's been a long night. Been live for what? 3.5 hours at this point. And coming up next, I believe is going to be Payson Lindsay. Sorry, it's going to be Logan Giesbrecht, actually. So Logan Giesbrecht, you guys come home with a P15 finish here in the Daytona 500. So it looked like a pretty eventful race for you guys. I think at one point you were 2 laps down. So how did you rebound to get those laps back and ultimately come home with a top 15?
Actually 3 laps down. Yeah, it was pretty eventful. I think it was lap 12 under caution. My wheel turned off, and just every input ever was in the car throttle, brake, it just locked up. I'm surprised it didn't kill some people under pacing, and I obviously apologize for that. But got the wheel back working. Was 3 laps down. Just tried to stay in the back of the pack, avoid all the wrecks, and ultimately we did. We got back on the lead lap, and after that, it was just so far back we didn't have any track position, and these cars are just kind of slot cars, so couldn't really pass anybody. I think we avoided some people there at the end, so we got a P15.
All right, so we're heading next week from Kentucky. So, of course, going to more of a normal style racetrack. What do you think your expectations are for next week from Kentucky and then throughout the rest of the season?
Well, just be happy to not have to avoid wrecks every 5 laps. I love super speedways, but sometimes they can be really frustrating, and I'm happy we're going to a mile and a half next, just sort of chill, try and get the season on track.
All right, well, we will see you at Kentucky next week.
See ya.
Up next is going to be C.J. Erdman, driver with the number 94 Clear High Racing Machine. C.J. Erdman ended up coming home with a P17 finish. So C.J. Erdman, of course, in one of your part-time series starts in the Cup Series, you will come home in P17. So ultimately, a decent day for you guys. Maybe fell back there at the end a little bit. So take me through maybe the last 10 or so laps, racing up there, and ultimately coming home P17.
Yeah, this was a really frustrating race. Couldn't get track position all race, and finally got it. And there at the end, I thought me and Payson, maybe if I could have been better connected, I would have, we would have been able to do something. But I couldn't get connected enough, and then I'm not sure what happened on the bottom, but it looked like somebody got hooked and came up into Payson and wrecked us both. But really frustrating race, really frustrating weekend. Felt like I could have won probably all 4 races, and ended up getting wrecked in 3 of them. So that's frustrating, but it is what it is.
All right, so of course the Xfinity Series heads to USA Speedway next week. So it's a short track from a super speedway, so obviously nothing to do with each other. So what do we think? How do you think you're going to run next week from USA Speedway?
I don't know. I've never driven there with an Xfinity car before, other than the test, and that's kind of hard to take anything from the way that was going. It's the short tracks have never been my best. I mean, Richmond I'm okay at, but generally speaking, the flatter short tracks I'm not the best at. So I don't know. We'll see once we get there, but I'm not overly confident. Just hoping for a top 10 probably.
All right, well, still nice job on the run tonight, and we will see you for the Xfinity race at USA Speedway next week.
Yep, thank you.
Coming up next here from the World Center Racing, finishing up post-race interviews, is going to be Connor Havrilla, came home in 20th. Connor Havrilla, you guys had a great day until it wasn't. Unfortunately, I believe with about maybe 15 to go, you ended up getting turned around, and ultimately you come home with a P20 finish. So what happened there to take you guys out of contention for this victory?
Just kind of got, as you said, just kind of got involved in that at the end and had to just try to fire our way back at the end. Kind of put us in a tough place, but we fought. But ultimately, no points. But you know, it's Daytona, so.
All right, so the season, of course, moves on to Kentucky Speedway next week. So that's a mile and a half, and then you got a road course in Sonoma. So 3 different racetracks to start off the season. How do we think this momentum is going to carry over into these next 2 races?
Next week, I think we have a pretty good shot at points for sure. Sonoma, not fully sure on that, but next week definitely can have a chance for points, I believe, for sure.
All right, well, still nice job here on the race here tonight. Sorry I kind of ended in a bad way for you guys, but we will see you next week from Kentucky.
Thank you.
Final interview of the night coming up is going to be Payson Lindsay. Payson Lindsay, it was a good race for you guys, and then unfortunately with maybe like 20 or something to go, you are on the final lap as well, you guys got caught up in a wreck. So. And that ended in your chances, and you ultimately finished in 22nd to start off the season. Just take me through what happened to take you guys out of contention for this one.
Yeah, we just got too far back in the field. I cleared myself on, I believe it was Hunsicker's nose with like 20 to go, and we just had to work our way back to the field from there. We were 18th with 15 to go, so we had to get really aggressive, and We got ourselves in a good position on the last lap. We were 6th coming onto the backstretch, so I thought we had a chance on it, but I guess they got a little stacked up on the bottom, and Bryce took it 3. I had no idea we were 3, and there was a little bit of netcode there that took us out of contention. So we'll see what we can do at Kentucky. I feel like that's a little bit of a less luck track, and we've done good there in the past, so we'll see what we can do.
All right, so how do you think you're going to be able to try to recover your point situation after obviously not scoring a whole lot of points tonight in Daytona?
Yeah, I mean, we still got 8 points because of the stage, but I feel like we just need to get more stage points. That was the goal today too, was to get some stage points, and I feel like if we can get maybe 5 stage points in every single race, we can be in contention for the playoffs.
All right, well, nice job still on the run tonight. Sorry it ended in a late race crash for you guys, but we will see you next week from Kentucky.
Yeah, thank you.
And that will do it. After all of that, the Daytona 500 has officially concluded. We hope you enjoyed NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series League Speed Weeks. What a Speed Weeks it was. We hope, of course, you enjoyed. That'll do it tonight. And the Daytona 500 has wrapped up. One more final look at your finish, how the margin of victory was. And yeah, the Daytona 500 has concluded, so has Speed Weeks, and we'll move on with the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup and Xfinity Series schedules. Of course, next week is Kentucky for the Cup Series. Xfinity will head to USA Speedway, and they should be some fun shows there. So thank you to everybody who watched all throughout Speed Weeks. Thank you to everybody who raced as well. We had so many fun races, so many fun moments, and Season 4 of Speed Weeks is officially over. Hope you enjoyed. Missed any of the action, they're all available on the channel every single Speed Weeks event for season number 4. So, of course, the normal season will be back. We'll be back for its 24 weeks of NASCAR iRacing FedEx League action all the way till the end of October. So, we hope you enjoyed this one here tonight. The Daytona 500 was a thriller. Congratulations to Cole Wilson. He is a NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series Daytona 500 champion. We will see you next week from USA Speedway for the Xfinity Series and Kentucky Speedway for the Cup Series. Good night from Daytona.